Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live on a Friday, Junior. We are ready to go. Folks, it's a packed night. Lots to get into. We even have a QR code to chase down a rabbit hole or a dark cave, if you will. But we got our preview for King and Queen of the Ring, plus Double or Nothing, plus whatever Howdy's doing on Twitch. We're going to talk all about it. So strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel good, and welcome to the Wrestling for Life Network. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream, and tonight is a special live stream as we jump into our preview and predictions for two pay-per-views, a busy weekend ahead. Plus, just to add fun to the whole mix, we have a Twitch teaser coming, apparently. We are going to find out. I mean, we went from Twitch to WhatsApp, back to Twitch. So we are going to see what happens with that, folks. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Get in that chat. Click all the buttons. Be a part of the fun. Be a part of the show. And I will remind you, I am Mr. Evernight KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube. That's Anthony, and that's Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its tag team trios champions of the world. The Every Night Delight, KJ White, the hat that runs the mat, Ringsider Anthony, and I am Big Nick. And yes, we're twitching out here tonight. We're twitching.
Twitch responsibly.
Pause. Yeah. Said a lot about rabbit holes and dark caves, everything. You were pause heavy in that intro, my guy.
Listen, we are going to talk about caves. We're going to talk about flamethrowers. We're going to talk about Vegas. We're going to talk about SummerSlam. There is so much to talk about, so much to get into. So make sure everyone out there gets in that chat. Let us know what is on your wrestling mind. But yeah, we got a lot to unpackage. We are about 5.5 minutes away from what potentially should be something from Uncle Howdy and the QR codes. I will throw it to you guys. Anthony, I guess we'll start with you, but I know you said before, you're like, just tell me when the answer for all this has come upon us. It may be here.
Yeah, I checked out probably about 5 weeks ago. There's nothing wrong with the QR codes. I want to clarify that. I checked out with the Bray Wyatt QR codes. Like, I was done.
Ooh.
I just started listening to people on social media, specifically on TikTok. One guy, his name is Irish Neep, who's really into all of this Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy stuff. So I just really started to listening to them to kind of get their ideas and perspectives. But me, I didn't pick up a phone for a QR code to see what it was. I just want to get to the point. I just want to get to it. I'm being patient. Like, I'm super patient about it, but like, I don't want to do all the technical research to get to the outcome of Uncle Howdy's reveal. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Man just wants the cliff notes. He wants to get to the end of the story here. He wants to be done with this. He wants to know what happens at the end of that game. He doesn't need all the fucking lore and the build up and everything.
No,
exactly.
Let's just get there. But I see the chat filling up. We will get to your comments. We will get to your questions. We will click on as much as we can. Remember, we do have the super chats, the super stickers, and we always appreciate seeing triple digits in the chat. So be a friend, tell a friend anywhere you talk wrestling. Drop this link with them. Let's get as many people here as possible because it should be a fun show tonight. And again, like I said, we're going to talk about King and Queen of the Ring. We're going to go through our preview and predictions for that. We got Double or Nothing. We're going to discuss that. We're just kind of in a bit of a holding pattern because before we get into all this stuff, we might as well talk about that stuff. So, but get in there. Let me know out there, how are you guys feeling about the QR codes? And actually, I'll put a poll up. But yeah, I mean, are we getting the reveal this weekend?
I feel so. I was going to ask you, so if you could surmise and let the peoples know, because you're the one that we established, I think, on Tuesday that you had the WhatsApp. So you officially saw and you were sharing in the group chat of what that QR code was and why that led to us being here tonight.
Yeah, so basically what they did was one of the clues on Monday said WhatsApp, and yesterday's date, the 22nd of May. Then throughout yesterday, it was real funny because what they did was they did an update that said 4 p.m. They put it up and then they took it down. So there was a bunch of people freaking out, like, we missed it. Oh my God, what happened? Now, there was enough people that did catch it that, they were like 4 p.m. Eastern time. At 4 p.m. Eastern time, there was 8 pictures put up. 5 of them were the same. 3 of them were different. And then you kind of had to piece it all together. There was tiny little text that, on each one, when you put it together, it said Thursday, 8 p.m. EST Twitch. That's at least what we think. Now, if we're wrong, we're going into our preview show real quick. But
we got plenty of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. So that's how we ended up here. This is the breadcrumbs that brought us here. And I give them credit. And I've been following this. I mean, kind of the opposite of Anthony. I'm good for a mystery. Like I'll, if you can keep me engaged, I'll follow you all the way down to the pit.
I feel like I'm the happy medium here. I'm the Goldilocks, well, the angry Goldilocks here, because I've been on it, I've been off it. We've had battles back and forth about it. I've been on here when we had the White Rabbit stuff of calling random phone numbers and getting, weird voice messages and stuff like that. So I'm back in this right now. I really want this to be good. I think they plan to do something special. Like I got reminded of, especially with this being Wyndham's birthday, and I got reminded of the clip from the documentary about how we need to do something special for him. We really need to kind of, show up and show out that we're talking about that. So I really hope that this is really good. I'm worried if they fumble the bag. This is a big fumble.
Yeah, and I mean, so far for my money, it's been good. Like, I mean, this series of codes and QRs and riddles, even though we kind of know what we're getting, like when with the White Rabbit, there was a level of, is it Bray Wyatt? And until we started getting real close,
right?
Then when we're like, okay, but this one, we fully expect what the answer is. So I thought it's a bigger challenge for sure. And these are huge shoes to fill. By the way, happy birthday to the late Bray Wyatt. Definitely missed. Again, I remember us 3 being live the day he passed. So again, out of the tragedy, that's why I have optimism for this whole process, is that I feel like because of it's tied to his brother, it's tied to people that love the man that was originally doing this. They really want to pay homage and do it properly. They don't want to half-ass it.
But do you worry with the way that the IWC is? And I cringe every time I say that term because I just fucking despise it to my core. That it won't be good enough for them. That everybody's already written their narrative in their own mind's eye of how they should tribute Bray and everything like that. That if they find a fault in anything, that you'll just get all the angry tweets. You'll get Sorry, go ahead.
Did it start?
I got twitching.
We're twitching right now.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Not sure what's happening, but we got twitching.
We got
I don't know.
Dark screens, darkness imprisoning me.
I got Ace Hardware, so I have to wait.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, no, but it instantly started off with like Instagram photos and and now it's keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I don't know what the hell I just said.
I'm just getting straight static.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you were, sorry,
I'm
Anthony.
Still on the Ace Hardware commercial, so I'll get
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware store. # not sponsored. Now I got Nixon on my screen. What the fuck?
Okay, there we go. I'm in now.
All right.
Not getting any audio. Damn it, Twitch. Oh, Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. Okay. I've had birth. I have a baby.
That looks like something from the X-Files with that baby.
Yeah, literally. Boston, what up? Marvin, what up? Hey, Gamer Ghoul 6. I love the QR codes. I love Easter egg hunting. Shout out, because as she mentioned earlier, yeah, good to be here. Geekbox is my hubby. Introduced me to you guys. Shout out Geekbox and shout out you.
Ah, that's amazing. Shout out to Geekbox. Gave the channel a whole bunch of love over the last little while, and then he gave me a high five last night for freaking out during a flamethrower incident.
I mean, most people would freak out during a flamethrower incident.
Do y'all just have a black screen at the moment?
No,
I just have a visual It looks like a wall with some on it.
Yeah, with some old, what is it, floppy disk? That's what we used to call them.
There's
Like
a
red
floppy
and green
disk.
floppy
Yes.
disk.
Oh, a piece of a broken floppy disk. It literally just.
I got
And
nothing.
I feel
just
like
go-
this is an insanity test right now here. Like we're all gonna get locked in the loony bin with this because we're all trying to make sense of a fucking scene on a wall that just has some loud noises going back and forth. It's a jackal. It's a jackal. It's a jackal. It's a jackal.
I just need to start hearing knocking in threes, and I'm calling this The Conjuring.
Mhm.
I think Nick might be right. Like, this is an experiment of like, how long can we make people sit around and watch nothing?
Yeah, how hooked are you?
No, he was on last night. Remember, so kind of seeing a bit of yesterday. The remember who you are is something constantly. That's what we were getting yesterday. Remember who you are. I don't know how the floppy disk ties into any of this at this point. Half the fans out there don't even know what a floppy is. It's not what you think.
Depends. Depends.
This is not a blue chew
Different
app.
kind of floppy. Different kind of floppy. Yeah,
So-
for anyone not watching, sorry, this is just a screen of a wall or the floor or something with noises currently.
I don't know how much trouble I'll get into if I do.
Well, I can share the link. Well, it's not hard. It's twitch.tv/WWE for their Twitch.
I'm going to risk it.
Do the unthinkable. You're gonna risk it for a biscuit.
It sounds like somebody just came into a room.
Oh, we got a hand. We got hands.
Opening. Yep, we got a hand now. I was just about to
I got
say
two hands.
a door opened and closed.
Remember who you are. And that's a fingerless glove hand, kind of a la Fiendish. It's not exactly hurt heel, but yeah. Oh, we got scissors going across. Well, that's what I was saying, the two circles and everything. And initially looked like a pair of
There's
scissors.
numbers 47.812 north.
Say that again.
47.812 north. And then
116.8966 west.
west. Okay, now
We got
this is
coordinates.
It's probably Riyadh. Or
Facts.
One
Oh, we got scissors cutting up the paper here.
west.
West. Did you say west?
Scissor carefully.
Scissor me timbers, my
The
guys.
hand is about to write or draw something.
Anthony Bowens is the leader of the Wyatt Six.
Right.
The gloves aren't even actual gloves. They're just a fucking black electric tape, by the way.
It is
Okay, I'm gonna risk this, guys.
Risk it for a biscuit.
All right,
easy.
folks. This is what we're seeing right now.
It is never easy to
And I'm gonna try and Google those coordinates while y'all keep the people abreast.
feel. I can't stop this feeling.
It is never easy to feel loss.
This is like stop motion. I got you
You
have
have
A Taco Bell came up when I put the coordinates in. That can't be right.
Halupa.
There must be a typo.
Fair enough. You check on the Twitters or something. You have lost too much
already.
That's a woman's hands. I don't know. That's some.
I was
husky-ass-
thinking it was woman's hands too. Things will be better.
That's some husky ass woman's hands.
Those are Bo's
All due
hands.
respect, ladies. Yeah.
I just want
Left-handed,
everything
by the
to be
way.
associated with Alexa.
Left-handed.
I just
Sorry.
wanted everything to be associated with Alexa Bliss. So it's Alexa Bliss's hands out
You deserve.
Much already. Wait. You have
Is
lost
this?
too much
You
already.
deserve to
Okay, so
be set free.
there. Is Alexa Bliss left-handed? I'm sorry, I have to look now.
Maybe that's why it's just shit writing because they're writing it left-handed just to throw people off.
touche.
There's the, more coordinates. More coordinates.
Yeah, shit.
Okay, so a Facebook group says Alexa Bliss certainly always signs autographs with her left hand. So,
really?
Yeah.
You deserve to be set free, all underlined. Is this very poignant, though, that this is all still, as we mentioned earlier, on Wyndham's birthday?
99.7331 West. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's personal. Remember, Bo's birthday's Sunday?
Oh, shit.
Or tomorrow?
I know you are. Taylor saying it looks like a woman's hands. Kyle, what up? Easy Bake, what up? Simone, MDB, Dale. Yeah, so we're dissecting this in real time. I know you are angry that
is okay. Now I feel like I should have participated the past 5 weeks.
Yeah, now, huh? Now it's cool, ain't it? Let me show you you what? What?
Show you what that.
It's pronounced Talon. Well, sorry, Talon. Sunday.
Yeah.
That anger can do. What anger can do. Oh, what that anger can do. There, I can read.
More coordinates. Jesus.
43,143.
Well, and there was a flash of a sheep and like a goat sign and everything.
973 West.
Now, the last set of clues led us to Rowan University, which was very interesting.
Oh, it's like with the White Rabbit of how we got randomly a giant pink bunny in the middle of like fucking Argentina or something.
Italy. And I don't know how they knew that was there.
When you are ready to take, and Bradley, shout out for the $2 super chat. T's and P's, rest in peace. Owen Hart 25 years ago, and happy birthday to late Bray Wyatt. Yeah, sad, kind of unintentionally sad day in pro wrestling.
Yeah, right.
Don't cave. I set them free.
It's always a trip when things connect like that. Oh, we're getting. So maybe each of these individual images are the different members of, like, you know, one in the closet, one in the hallway, one in the wherever the fuck that is.
Well, and could this? Oh, I dare even try and make the statement that these are different hands. I don't really think they are, but it's interesting, and you can see the writing and everything get more like frantic and everything too. Like it's not just a consistent flow. Like you can see when they get emotional, like the writing gets more frantic and all over the place and everything.
I'm telling you, if this is not a natural, more coordinates. Jeez. I got numbers all over my page. Like
where in the world is Bo Dallas and the Wyatt 6?
40,3997 North. I'm just gonna wait for someone else to solve. Nort. They're Canadian.
Yeah, North. Well, again, I'm telling you, those aren't gloves. That's just like black electric tape.
No, they're like those white gloves.
Bro, they're shiny and just all discombobulated.
Latex. Yeah, it kind of does look like tape. I'm kind of with you.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Now, if this is not a natural,
remember who you are, and we flash back to something else.
And the floppy's still there.
Simba. Remember who you are, Simba. Coordinates.
More coordinates.
We're going global, folks.
I'm a sucker for all the alternative reality shit and everything like that. Mm-hmm. I know I argue that. I think people just get too sucked into it and expect the outcome before they, get to the end. But this is compelling shit and very unique. And I'm surprised nobody else has done this.
0167 North. Now, I'm wondering if we're going to get 6 sets of coordinates, to be honest with you guys. And I missed that one, the second part of it. I'm hoping it comes back.
Oh, fair enough.
6008 West. A lot of them are northwest. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 sets of coordinates so far. And I may have
Saudi Arabia is in the west, so I assume. Is it the west or is it the east? I'm terrible with
I think it's
geography.
the East. I think
East.
we're
There, yeah. No, never eat soggy Wheaties. There we go. I'm terrible. Depends on which way you fly out. It's either far west or close east.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just tuning in, we are going to do our preview for the pay-per-views this weekend. But right now, as you can see on our screen, this is what Twitch is giving us. More Uncle Howdy, more coordinates, more riddles, more who knows.
Right. I am so sad, crossed out word, seeing you look for a friend, but finding none.
But yeah, you're right.
Is this every single person in those Wyatt Six writing their own notes to like Wyndham?
Maybe. That's also a possibility. I mean, each note has a corresponding person attached to it.
Right.
Could the coordinates lead us to Abigail? Alan,
why are you trying to holler?
But welcome, everybody. We are, we're definitely
miss out on someone as special as you. Richard, what up?
Remember, Nikki Cross was looking for a friend. 100% my first thought when that came up. You couldn't find any friends. If anyone out there is able to Google some of these coordinates, I'd love you.
Yeah, be a friend. Help a friend. See, Odds is with us there. Is that electrical tape?
Yeah, definitely got that like latexy, plasticky look to it.
This looks like the Riddler from fucking Batman.
Okay.
Stare into the abyss, hoping someone would look back. What the? We're getting poetic.
All of this has been semi-poetic.
Yeah, well, the thesis.
Can either of you see, because right now I'm kind of tapped on my full screen, how many people are tuning into this right now?
Right now, us or them?
Them.
9,753.
Pretty good.
I want to know. I see you. You are seen.
But see, the writing style changes.
Absolutely. That's why I think this is like, it's one hand, it's one set of hands, it's one person technically writing each note. I feel like the message is all written from different perspectives
or personalities.
Fair enough. That too.
And actually, the roll of tape there, maybe that's what made the gloves. Now that I think about it, right in front of our face.
A little bit. Yeah. Might have been saying it, but yeah.
The forest, the tree, right?
Right. But it's, I mean, you're never alone if you have multiple personalities, right?
Facts. Who's writing this AEW booking? What? Get out of here, Richard.
But yeah, even right there, you have notes besides notes, the hand style, the phrasing, like everything feels entirely different. So that's either a different personality coming through or it's a different message.
Nick. Come home to your new come home, your new family awaits is underlined. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but
no, you're good.
They're putting an emphasis on this particular part.
Oh, we're mailing letters to Santa. I believe in you, Santa. I believe in you.
So maybe
you'll still play that Xbox 5.
Oh, wait, that was rude.
Whoa.
Remember who you are. So is this
side note, remember though how everything up until right now has been black and white for the most part here, and well, at least especially writing wise, and red ink, you know, I am red in a world of black and white.
I love that quote.
I like what Keyshawn put down here. Are we debuting a wrestler or a Zodiac killer?
Both. Both.
So maybe this is like
new coordinates.
Oh my! So that would be 6.
399286 north And then 74, 94, 75 west.
Sorry, 74, 94, 75.
94, 75 west.
Maybe this is where he's sending these particular letters. But that is 6 sets of coordinates now.
And that makes Wyatt 6.
Yes, sir.
6 sets of coordinates.
That's where he's mailing the letters. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you on this one, C-Money.
And now we're getting like end of days, you know, in the final chapter music playing here.
Right. Boom.
Oh, this is going to be Bo writing to Bray.
Oh, more tape.
Oh, more tape.
Here comes the song. Now, I know you guys can't hear it on our stream. We have to mute it. That's a guaranteed knock. Where I'm really hoping that this whole section doesn't have to get blurred out when we publish this. But whatever.
You just keep talking. We'll be good.
Yeah. Is that new coordinates? Yep. Shit. 3, 4.
Yeah. 3, 4, 10, 7 north. 117, 93, 53 west.
As we're getting old school, for those who can't hear, we're getting old school, like spoopy music that, if you've ever watched a horror movie ever, especially with the supernatural and not the show Supernatural, this is what plays.
Yeah. If Goodbye Horses comes on, I'm leaving. I
was just about to say, if anybody has ever watched at least the first 5 seasons of Pretty Little Liars, this is what it's giving me. It's giving me A. That's exactly what it's giving me.
This is a distorted male voice. Okay.
Fair enough. But the song's basically saying, I'm all alone, excuse me, etc.
Last coordinates are the Arrow Highway in
I Set Them Free,
Irwindale, California.
It's going to be one of those of once you look at it and you like spread it all out on a fucking map that the coordinates are going to like equal out something.
Yeah, more coordinates. Yeah,
86, 1954 north, 82, 34, 96 west.
82, sorry.
82, 34, 96 west, I think.
369, damn, she's fine.
If anybody comes into my office, they're gonna be like, "What are you doing with all these numbers?" Where are you?
Sure. We need to check on you.
But we are up to 8 coordinates now. So
KJ's office just looks like Charlie with like Pepe Sylvia.
What's that? Is it 30? What's the Jim Carrey movie? 33? 3? The one where you just
it's 33 or 23 or something like that.
23. 13?
Yeah, you had a family.
But literally 28 minutes deep now. That's 90 minutes spent on Twitch, thanks to WWE.
Hey, I'm fine with it. But again, different style of handwriting. You had a family, you had friends. Like I said, I feel like this is, in a sense, Bo writing something to Wyndham. Like this feels, I might be reading all the way into this, but this feels like they're all sending off their kind of message, what have you. And this feels like the last one because we had the build up to this. We had the special music. We had the sad music, everything.
There we go. Look at this here now. They revealed themselves.
They did your best. They revealed themselves to be liars.
Sure. Ongoing theme in both White Rabbit and Cave Bird story.
And that's super underlined and circled and just extra Q energy. But you see the kind of snap, the aggression pops out and everything.
Okay, I was just about to say, but somebody pointed that out in the comments. This could be Dexter Loomis.
Could be.
He had friends. He had a family, and they all kind of
time to wake up. Was that more coordinates?
God, who knows at this point, my guy.
Yeah, no, trust me. And
Wait,
then
what-
it went away. It said, trust me.
There was more coordinates there. I'm going to back up a little on my other feed.
Well, now we've got notebook pages getting torn out here.
He upset. Oh, they won't let me rewind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, get in this chat. This is our preview show for 2 pay-per-views, by the way.
Oh, right, we'll get there. We'll get there.
If this is an hour of just watching notes, it's a tough one.
A little bit.
Oh, we're about to get a bit of a spike here. What is that?
Your family. Bo.
That's what it is. I like that. I like that, Jack.
Because I am what
I wrote you, and
that's
you
right.
still ain't calling.
Right.
Okay, I need more paint to write these notes on.
Your family betrayed you. Do you deserve better?
I'm trying to think who was betrayed.
That's the thing, though, is we all probably are looking at this from an entirely different perspective, and all could be right.
That's the best part of all this. This is why I get into this kind of thing, like a murder mystery, who done it? Give me some clue. It was Bo Dallas in the fucking, in the office with the candlestick.
Oh yeah, we've talked about it. We both listen to like true crime podcasts. Me and wifey and everything have played, the hunt a killer games and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
My life is on the ID channel because that's where I stay.
Just as you are, come to me and
Oh,
I will make you brand new.
Take my hand. Just
He's
flash.
got the whole world in his hand.
One of the latest clips that I put out, the crowd just instinctually started singing that at the end of the teaser.
I don't blame him. It's between that or, feed your head. I will set you free. We can be all that we can be. We can be a real family. One family.
Yeah.
Oh, only my family. That's what it said. Sorry. That's been the consistent theme, though, from every sort of pretty much concept, even with Bray, has been a family, whether it's the Bray Wyatt family, whether it's him with the Fiend, whether it's the Firefly Funhouse. And now this is, again, bringing up just the concept of a family. Juice saying, shout out my left-handers, by the way.
Shout out to lefties.
I'm literally over here Googling Alexa Bliss's gloves. Someone in the chat on Twitch said those are Alexa Bliss's gloves taped up. And I know she wore gloves when she was the goddess. She also wore gloves when she was that dark thing because it had like play and pain on one side.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like those fingers are a little sausagey for
yeah, those are a little Chris Farley. Those aren't quite exactly, those are more Milwaukee fingers. Those aren't Alexa Bliss fingers. And again, we're playing with, like we've talked about, and I think the floppy disk there has changed from green to red, by the way, but it's very much played on the whole, like we've talked about, of I'm a red in a world full of black and white.
And again, you remember Bray's tattoo on his arm, right? Was it had the red splotch that went through the black and white tattoo.
Oh yeah,
really symbolic. One of my favorite quotes by Bray. 8, 9.
Trust
6.
me, I've thought about getting it on me. Pause. And we're back to the Sad and Lonely song here. So Are we in a consistent loop, or we're already through about a half hour of twitching?
I don't know, and I'm starting to wonder, like this you see up on the left hand side, guys, to the left of the tape, there's that mark, and then it like I'm kind of wondering if that has any meaning, even though it's just randomness. And into my mind. Don't go by
I'm even wondering if like the mirror stuff plays anything. We've got more coordinates.
43, 77, 64 north, 79, 23, 18 west.
You're gonna have to say at least one of those again.
43, 77, 64 north, 79, 23, 18 west.
79,
23, 18 west.
Thank you, Anthony. My hero.
Richard saying Anthony trying to connect the pieces that connect for.
I really am. This is very interesting.
Oh, we've got heavy knocking, and we've got now just scribbles and.
Yeah, so this makes me think like different. I like what you were kind of on, Nick, with the different personalities. Like,
take my hand, trust me,
yeah,
set you free.
But we're up to like 9 sets of coordinates, if not 10.
We're gonna create a whole blackbird with all these fucking coordinates. That's the thing, is I bet you if you plan it out, it's gonna be the coordinates are gonna line up to more something than where they are. As we get another kind of drawing on the back of that, of the kind of stick figure visual here. Ramo, what up?
Jesus.
Talon saying, don't go by the fingers, guys. Remember, Alexa just had a baby. She could have some swelling in her hands. You never know. Aggressive. You had followers and they betrayed you.
So who out of the group had followers? Of the for some group, I don't know. See, this is unless he's talking to Bray, right?
But that's the thing, is I almost feel like I said, of this feels like everybody's sending a message to the great beyond, what have you. Like there's gonna be some extra lore that we're not even gonna know about until they actually pull the trigger on this. Once they finally get the reveal, then I think we'll see a lot of stuff slot into place.
I mean, Alexa Bliss did betray Bray Wyatt, but
that is true.
I'm never gonna let Alexa Bliss thing go. So a lot of this I'm gonna say is Alexa Bliss. I'm sorry.
We've established that. This feels like watching UFO files on History Channel. Pokemaniac just saying schism. Well, Joe Gacy's going to be involved in this.
Gacy had followers. That's a good show, right? Gacy.
That must be whatever. Yeah, everybody's Gacy. Stoner Jesus. Speaking of followers, Stoner Jesus.
I'd like to point out how much this is bringing the whole community together. But my
WWE fans, AEW fans, TNA fans, lend me your ears. Lay down your swords, lay down your axes as we sit here and decipher the Uncle Howdy, clues.
So by my count right now, we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 sets of coordinates.
And he wants to notice they all did nothing. I will give you a family. That seems, I don't know if that's Gacy writing that or if that's someone writing that to Gacy.
Good. And again, the different writing style, not as scribbly, not as panicked, a little more concise. Now, I would argue that is a neater writing, which tends to be.
Well, it's a lot faster. It's a lot like that almost might seem like Gacy writing it himself, but I don't know. Sorry. You said it looked like women. Sorry.
I'm just wondering if the neater writing is indicative of a female.
Give you a let them teach. Let's teach them consequences with a smiley face at the end.
Oh.
And we keep going back to this like one kind of old schooly, sounds like one record that sounds super distorted. Like, have you ever watched Insidious or anything like that? Kind of that type of shit.
Yeah.
Now I know what song it is, and actually someone in the chat was that put me onto it. Now it eludes me at the moment, but there's definitely.
If you know, let us know. Shazam it. Tell us.
Yeah, someone out there remind us what the name of the song is, but I've looked it up. It's similar to like what we saw with the last with the White Rabbit and Jefferson Airplane, right?
Oh no, that was a fucking jam, my God. Like that's some shit you listen to just on the regular. I don't know if I'm gonna be listening to like.
I don't mean from an entertainment standpoint. I mean there was a song. Like I'm not comparing. Like, well, he knocked this one out of the park.
Now I want a banger if I want to listen to it. That's the thing. If you're like gonna be Kendrick in this shit, give me a banger that I want to listen to, even though you fucking somebody up.
Banger, barely knew her. Anyway.
Whoa. Start doing Blackbird singing in the
Set them free. The music's gotten a little darker.
That it has.
I will.
The yellow floppy now. See, I wonder if the floppy, like we got a red floppy, a green floppy, a yellow floppy, and a blue floppy.
I will see you all soon.
And we got Tinky Winky.
Yeah, the purple is next.
TJ saying Bo right into his new family. I can't wait.
That's what I'm assuming here.
So the faction members are definitely Rowan, Nikki, Dexter, and Gacy. That's what it seems to be.
Yes. Now that might be correct, but I don't know how we got to that conclusion other than us kind of
dirt sheets.
I can't.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Lady B, not CSI Saudi. This is crazy.
CSI Saudi, nice.
You got a note on the door. He called the shit poop. He called the shit poop.
Now we're back to this.
Spooky house. Spooky house. Bro, tell me in any sort of situation in real life, you're seeing that house and going inside.
Well, if you're the
like,
creepy
no,
person,
like I know I don't come out the other end of this door. So no.
Yeah, but if you're the creepy one going in,
well, if you're Jason Voorhees, I mean,
Abigail,
hey,
we got Abby.
Yeah, I don't know how we feel about Sister Abigail just as a whole as a character.
Oh, was that Bo's smile?
Mustache, Dominic Mysterio, gonna be part of the Wyatt Six.
But you remember that kind of had Bo's grill to it.
Let me see your grill. Your grill. But so that does it for WWE on the Twitch-a-mania.
All right. Let's get back into business. We will kind of decompress from this for a couple moments, folks. If you are just tuning in, we are going to do a preview for 2 pay-per-views, both Double or Nothing and King and Queen of the Ring. But yeah, that is a lot to unpack. I know the internet. Y'all can let me know as the internet figures shit out. I literally have a list of 10 coordinates. I have no idea what any of them mean yet, but I got numbers all over my page. I feel like Zach Galifianakis at the casino.
I was gonna say it's either that or you're Rain Man, or you've got I've got all these letters that need to go to Pepe Sylvia, and the guy doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm. Now I'll put it out to everybody. What do you think? There you go. Like, I mean, literally 44 minutes. We had an hour the other day of the therapy session, and clearly people are hanging on to this. Like, I know somebody put in the chat, bore, but there's always somebody that has to do all the fun.
Right, but we've got Geekbox saying Nightbird hits again. Joshua saying, I hope Alexa Bliss comes back as the Dark Alexa. She could be the Sister Abigail. That's been the longest going thread throughout all of this.
Has it been?
I mean, people kind of thought that she was going to be Alexa Bliss, like the second she kind of started to get aligned with Wyndham. So
Yeah, but I've never heard the idea that she's Sister Abigail.
you've never heard that?
No, I didn't think that was a thing.
Okay.
I didn't know she was going to be Sister Abigail.
Oh,
That, which is fine. It just because I don't know doesn't mean it's not a thing.
Fair enough.
yeah, I know. I've heard it a couple of times, like back in the day, that she was Sister Abigail. I'm trying to see what people are talking about on Twitter, but I also have to avoid TNA spoilers, so that's like dodging a lot of stuff. Not much is being said yet.
Pokemoniac said, I enjoyed those 30 minutes more than the 2 hours of wrestling I watched last night.
Ooh.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Definitely more engaged. I'll give you that much. And as scrambly as it seems, it might be a little more organized.
Right. Well, Richard said that live stream was pretty fun. That smile on the end could be Bo.
Yeah.
Roman showing out Alexa, Naya, and Nick. What? Judgment Day 2.0? No.
Put the bomb down.
This was Hornswoggle.
It was Hornswoggle the whole time.
We got swoggled. Having this much interaction outside of the three main shows is insane in all the best ways. That's the biggest, I think, takeaway of this. Of whether it was, what was it? It was the last Tuesday or something like that. Like they'll just have everybody captivated. There was 10,000 people watching that at one point, just captivated randomly on a fucking Thursday night at 8 o'clock on Twitch. We had people downloading the WhatsApp just to go and see Uncle Howdy teases and everything. The fact that they're able to do this and they've now done it twice when other companies can't do it once is pretty astounding.
That's valid. Oh, a couple of them we got twice. Okay.
Was one of the coordinates 43 77 702?
43?
Yeah.
43 7764, 43 143.
Okay.
What were you hoping for?
Someone on Twitter said one of the coordinates led to Scarborough, Ontario.
That's what I said. It came up as a Taco Bell. I know where Rathburn is.
Okay. All right.
Man's like, I've had many a chalupa over there.
Right.
Yeah. That's how you end up looking like Malachi Black last night. Too many chalupa.
That's how they call it. That's why they call me the Baja Blaster over there.
Yeah, the first one I punched in came up, and I'm like, that must be just like a Google mistake, because I'm like, that's down the fucking road. I should go for a walk.
But that's why this is either going to be there's a tease in all of these spots, or this is going to be, like I said, if you pull out, I feel it's going to be connect the dots.
It might be connect the dots. Well, we will let this.
I was going to say, did you freeze or did I freeze?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, plot twist. Coordinates of all places. Vince has been sued from. Ouch. I was trying to think, is any of the presumed people Canadian, but they're not. Nikki Cross is Scottish. The rest of them are American, as far as I know.
Do you just claim her by proxy?
Maybe. We like her. But anyway,
is US. Yeah. Sorry.
We'll plow through this, ladies and gentlemen, but that was the latest teaser. We will try and unfold some of this, but if we don't progress, we're going to be here until Tuesday. So I don't know if anyone, as answers pop up, another coordinate is the intersection of somewhere where I used to live. Markham Road and Ellesmere. I live there.
You're Uncle Howdy. We've confirmed this. You're not Kevin Owens' stunt double. You are Uncle Howdy. You play both all of the gray bearded men in pro wrestling.
That actually, White. I don't know why. That makes me kind of happy. Of like, I literally lived at that intersection. That's so funny.
That's why you're so tapped into the story, my guy. You can feel it in your bones.
I say Wyatt family shows up at Money in the Bank in Toronto. Ooh, we're gonna stretch it out for another month.
Oh,
No, 3
I
weeks.
would die.
Right? I agree
I
with
would
Dale.
literally die.
nah, I think you kind of put it at the point of you either got to pull the trigger or otherwise it's going to be a failure to launch.
I still see. I mean, we go back to the Money in the Bank argument. I do not, being how engaged everyone is. If we don't get the full reveal in 2 days and it continues, but it's like this, I got no problem with it. Patience.
This kind of felt though like the last kind of round in the chamber, my guy. If you reload, I think it's going to be a little noticeable.
Like, I understand, like it's ramping up, but Money in the Bank. Let me just double check. Now, Rathburn, like the Scarborough is not where WrestleMania, or sorry, Money in the Bank is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's not till early July though. So I agree with you. Money in the Bank's too far away.
Yeah, because now you're adding 2 months onto it.
Yeah, because if we got to go through all of June, eventually people will give up. Be like, oh fuck, just tell us when we get the answers, right, Anthony?
Well, and especially, I think, well, the difference that, like you even said, which is the positive to it, of we kind of get it, we kind of know it, we kind of know who's running this, at least where this is coming from, versus the White Rabbit stuff, we had no idea.
Yeah,
but at the same time, that gives it a shorter shelf life.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of agree with that. I think that's a fair assessment.
We know where the get off is, so why are you taking us through the fucking roundabout before we get there?
I think for me anyway, it's we don't know all the pieces to the. We assume it. What if Dexter Lumis isn't part of it? What if?
But we know one really fucking big one.
We know Bo. We know Howdy. Right, for sure.
Right, and we knew that's all we knew initially with Wyndham, with Wyatt. That's all we knew is we knew one really fucking big one. Mm-hmm. So we know the exit to get off the fucking highway. Why are you circling this fucking roundabout at times? That's what I worry about.
Yeah, I mean, again, to counter that, my argument would be, if a lot of times when you sit down to take in, a movie, where we're going to end up. It's the journey to get there, right? And I'm all for it.
I get it. Yeah,
it's
I get the dance. It's a dance. Yeah,
right. Like, I mean, again, if that was the argument, then they could have just all showed up a month ago. But they're clearly fucking with us, and they're having a lot of fun doing it in the meantime, right? And I agree. This does have. Now that everything's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, like what's next? Are we going to be, downloading another app to figure out more shit? And like, there is a limit to how far we're going to explore this.
Well, we said it after the therapy session, everything. It feels like it was all the threads finally getting pulled together. And it's not like I'm not knocking it now currently. It's if you wanted to try and add another 2 months to this, that's when you are going to really start to lose people.
Mm-hmm.
To me, we've pulled everything together. The exit's right there. We don't need to go through this roundabout again.
2 individuals are seen in the new video. So I really think that's Bo Dallas's smile. He's kind of got the gappy teeth. I could be wrong. Sorry, Bo, if you've changed. But
he's gonna be like, I have Invisalign, motherfucker.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm leaning towards there. I have no idea what to do with these coordinates, but ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being here. We thank you for playing along with us. We still have 2 pay-per-views to talk about. Anything else you guys want to kind of touch on until we get more information on this Howdy stuff, or we good to dive into King and Queen? And I'll ask, like, is this where we want the reveal in Saudi on Saturday? Because we have Friday as well.
So I just want to touch on, like, I looked at 3 coordinates. I don't know if I Googled them correctly, but one ended up in Kansas, one ended up in New Jersey, and the other one was in Wisconsin. If I Googled them correctly.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know.
3 terrible places.
To your second question of, do you want it to happen in Saudi? I don't want anything to really happen in any of the Saudi Arabia shows because the crowd does not react very well.
Right.
And out of respect for Bray Wyatt, I would push it to either a Friday Night SmackDown or a Monday Night Raw if we can't drag it out to Money in the Bank, which I feel like is too far. Maybe Clash. That's less than 3 weeks away, I think, or about 3 weeks ish. But personally, I wouldn't do anything in Saudi Arabia. That's just me.
KJ, your thoughts?
Yeah, I figured, like, again, I don't know how much more they could do. Like, if we sit through another video of a bunch of clues like this, at what point do we get to of like, all right, but like you can only say remember who you are, and we're coming for so long. And there definitely feels like an escalation to everything we've received. So I'm ready. I mean, we'll probably get something tomorrow. Then Saturday, if we don't get the full reveal Saturday, I feel like we're within a couple weeks. Clash would be the max for me. I'm kind of with you on that.
I think we need to have at least kind of they reveal, like even if it's just the lower third pops up and then we get Bo Dallas and we get a kind of whole tease and does the whole like we're coming, anything like that, because it's the best kind of petri dish version that we could get as far as crowd, anything like that. When it comes to the Howdy response, it's not going to be tied to any other stories or anything. Well, and that's the thing is with the Howdy thing, we don't know what their trajectory is, who they're going to be involved with, where they're going to go with it. So they need the most kind of sterile, to an extent, introduction. And I think this is where you do it on a already kind of lackluster card to an extent.
You think? Okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I'm in Saudi Arabia, great card. If I'm compared even to Backlash, this I would say is a lesser card, and it's a Saudi show. So I think you have that huge moment, and they're able to be there and not be attached, be associated with anything once they show up. There's no preconceived direction for them. They just kind of need to exist and then establish their direction for their reveal, I feel, initially.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny to see everyone talking about Scarborough. Bobby Roode is from Scarborough. So one
glorious. No, I am Howdy. I am Howdy. I will be glorious.
Nikki Cross is from Scotland. Yes. So one of the coordinates is Scarborough, which is so crazy. It's just, as a Canadian, it's like, oh my God, they included us.
We exist.
One of them is Texas. I think you were right, Anthony, as far as the other ones go.
Okay. All right.
Right? Idaho, you said?
Yeah, I think I did say Idaho. I lost all of them though. I like exit out of what I had. I think one of them I said New Jersey.
Yes, one was New Jersey. Wow, this is complicated.
Now, if you pan out, what does it make?
I don't know yet. I'm going to leave that to the internet sleuths to figure some shit out.
Fair enough.
But let's get into the King and the Queen of the Ring. Folks, if you find some stuff out there, let us know. Let us know. And again, we're assuming it's like there's so many little things here. It could be places that people had matches. It could be, I don't know. What if it's my coordinates?
Right? Kara, what up? Dexter Lewis from Wyoming. We're just getting we're getting global here. But
we really are.
So King of the Ring, first bench, predictions. Gunther versus SmackDown bracket winner, aka Tama Tonga or Randy Orton. Thoughts, opinions, predictions.
Anthony?
This is probably a wild thing. I don't think Tama Tonga is winning tomorrow. I don't know why. I just don't think so. But I've been saying it from the beginning since he declared himself as being in the tournament. Gunther is going to be King of the Ring. So King Gunther comes Saturday.
Yeah, I feel like it's a foregone conclusion. That is crazy. Sorry, I'm so distracted by the fact that like if you look at the map that they're using to show the coordinates, You can literally, it says Merchants School Sport. Then there's Ellesmere that goes across. Like I could zoom in Google Earth and see my old house.
Man is out here like, I used to walk these streets.
Yeah, right. I gotta drive over it and see what's up. There's just a big
Instead of Uncle Howdy, I'm cousin KJ.
Cousin KJ. Highland Creek. That's crazy. Anyway, back to the point. Gunther was the guy that walked out. He was the first one to kind of declare any interest in the King of the Ring. It's a good way to keep him away from a belt temporarily, but it will give him that future title shot, which we're all kind of looking forward to. It's Gunther, and it will be Gunther versus Randy Orton, name value.
Absolutely, 100%. If
I love that,
especially if they hadn't added this attachment to the winner will get future title shot and everything. Yeah, once they added that, signed, sealed, delivered. This is Gunther. We're gonna get the King General, 100%. I feel.
Yeah, the King General. I like it. I can already see it on T-shirts.
Exactly. Well, we already had ideas for the Eat King and King of the Eat, everything like that. But yeah, we're gonna get King General, and especially with that holding to, and that's something I thought about this with now the title's going all the way to SummerSlam, or the title shot going to SummerSlam, I should say. So I'm predicting we get Gunther versus Drew at SummerSlam. It's going to be interesting. Of like, would you get like a Randy Orton versus Damian Priest if it went the other way, or a Randy Orton Drew, a Gunther Damian Priest? Do you guys feel any sort of ways with that?
Yeah, I mean, I still think that Drew is going to continue to not win and go crazier and crazier and crazier. I think Punk's going to be a big part of him being, losing his mind. So yeah, I mean, Drew taking on Gunther would be an interesting situation, and it would be conceivable that Gunther beats him.
I think that's what's going to be maybe not exactly Gunther beats him, but I think that's the match going into SummerSlam at this point, I feel, because Drew wins at Clash. Gunther's going to already have a match. And because I say that because allegedly that they're lining it up to where if you are from the Raw side, you only challenge the Raw champion. You can't, it's not like a Money in the Bank of you can turn around and challenge Cody or anything.
Right.
Now, again, in my fantasy booking head, and I believe this is how it would work out. I might be wrong, but Gunther wins the title at SummerSlam, defends his belt in Berlin a few weeks later.
Against?
Ilya.
Ooh.
Go big. Go big.
Ooh.
Every molecule in my body, I think, just got erect at the same time. I can say that publicly.
Down.
All just went, yes. We just all went right at the same time. Every cell just, yes.
It's not a bad show, right?
Right. Well, and especially not to tie it in this way, but we just recently had the passing of Bad Bones. So you do a match like that in Berlin. Could you fucking imagine if we get what is the equivalent to Danielson Ospreay from WWE's side of a match that sells itself on name alone? Fuck story, fuck anything else, sells it on name alone, and you do that in Germany or Berlin. Sorry, the wall fell. But yeah.
Anthony.
I think your idea of Gunther versus Ilya at Berlin, I think that could happen. Especially if the way they're somewhat kind of pushing Ilya on the main roster, I feel like that could happen. So I actually like that idea. I don't know. I don't know if Drew wins the title in Scotland. I don't feel that. I really don't.
I don't
and
think so.
Just based on past history, and I know we are under a new regime, but sometimes the fan favorite, the hometown hero, doesn't win. So I don't know. I don't know if he actually wins in Scotland or if they even decide to have that match in Scotland. I don't know.
I'm calling all my shots on both of them. If we have it and Drew walks out of Scotland, Clash of the Castle with his face on the poster and a world championship on his shoulder. How do both of you feel? I know you and I, KG, were here live for it. Anthony, you weren't here. How do you feel of Jey Uso's not in the spot of Jey Uso's main event, Jey Uso, but he hasn't been in really a main event?
I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. I don't know why. I mean, this is just me. Why people thought Jey Uso was gonna topple Gunther? That never crossed my mind when that match.
Him versus Tama.
No, I thought using the King of the Ring to further a bloodline storyline. I don't think it needed that. So that didn't even.
Well, we used a WrestleMania to further a bloodline storyline.
I know, but the King of the Ring is to help try to build new stars, and just doing that with the whole King of the Ring. I never saw it. I'm just gonna be honest. I never saw it.
Fair.
Yeah, and I happen to be on the same page, and I also don't think that Drew's winning in Scotland. I think Drew's going to get very close to winning potentially in Scotland, and I still think CM Punk's already alluded to it. Like, I'll see you in Scotland, bitch. If I got to pop out a haggis, you're in trouble. I still think that's going to be the case. And yeah, in Scotland, Punk might get a shit ton of heat when he does it, but he don't care. And then when they get back to the States, he'll get cheered for it.
That's fine. And y'all gonna I can say words, both going to have to buy a Shrek shirt and wear it on stream after Drew McIntyre. Not only you can wear the Shrek ears, all of that. You got to start it off with, what are you doing in my swamp? All of that when Drew McIntyre not only wins at Clash in the Castle and walks out a champion 100%.
I almost get excited when you're this adamant about something because generally it doesn't go that way.
I don't care.
I'm like,
you were this adamant about Edge and Bray Wyatt. So, Frank saying, are you guys going to watch King of the Ring when it happens? Yes, we'll be here even a half hour early. We're the pre-show. Before the pre-show, we're the wrestling fans you need in your life, the wrestling friends. Sorry. Go ahead.
That was it. No, we're here live. We're here live all weekend. We'll be live tomorrow night, guys, at our usual 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be here for all the wrestling action tomorrow night. Then we're here at Brunch with the Boys 10. It's going to be a fun one. We're going to dive into King and Queen of the Ring. And then we are back Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time for the marathon. That will be Double or Nothing. And if last night was any indication, and we are going to talk about it, folks, but if last night was any indication, Double or Nothing is going to be unhinged. For better or for worse, it is going to be chaos.
Has AEW just become like a GTA 5 like server or something like that of everything? We're checking out here for 5-star one ratings, I feel.
Well, here's the thing, and again, we're getting a little sidetracked, but for all the people that said like AEW's the real wrestling, if you watched last night's show, no, it ain't. It's not the real wrestling because you're building everything that happened last night was built on the chaos. Had nothing. The wrestling was actually, it meant nothing. The matches that we got last night really didn't mean shit. It was parking lot shit. It was a flamethrower. We'll get into it. We'll get into it after. But to me, they're venturing more into the NWO, WCW. Yeah, like they're kind of heading that way. So when you say it's the real wrestling, well, this isn't Ring of Honor where we're just getting really good matches. We're now selling the chaos.
Tony Khan is Dixie Carter with a poodle's haircut.
Oh.
Go ahead.
All right, real quickly back to WWE.
Right, let's get past the first match.
No,
so Albuquerque. We're getting our fucking flying coordinates here now.
So here's all the coordinates that they've given us. And much to Nick's request, they've plotted them, and the plotting makes no fucking sense. Unless we got a
road trip. That's what it is. A shitty road trip.
So this is where
it's a dolphin. It's a dolphin.
Yeah, unless we got to draw.
It's a jackal. It's a jackal.
Is it a jackal? No. Yeah, unless it's just drawn wrong. But I don't know.
So again, what is the threads that ties all of this together here? I mean,
I have no idea.
I'll believe these are all going to be like big Bray Wyatt or like Uncle Howdy moments. Like when did eliminate? Oh, there's no Montreal, so I'm like,
No.
or no, was when no, never mind. I was trying to think of when he returned as the Fiend, and I for some reason thought that was Montreal.
No, that was where were they for? Was it Extreme Rules?
Extreme Rules, yeah.
That was not Canada. Yeah,
That's
I don't know. Like Ramble,
what's the connection?
Rabbit, Scar. I everything's a guess at this point, guys. I'm all ears, but let's get back to the prediction.
Bro, we had sonographs and everything like that. There's going to be somebody that's like, you didn't think to just mix the words and the numbers coordinated to certain letters of the alphabet. No, I never thought about that. I would have never in a million years thought about that.
Right. I feel like this is like places that KJ's been. Like, I don't know what is happening here. This is like, I feel involved. Though I have
like
not
a person drawing cat dog on the US right there is what it looks like.
So we've made it successfully through one prediction, folks. You guys,
one match.
You can let us know in the chat how you feeling, who you taking, who's going to be the king of the ring.
And so match number 2 will determine the queen of the ring of Lyra taking on the winner of the SmackDown bracket of either Nia Jax or Bianca Belair. I believe Anthony and I agree if this is going to be Queen Nia.
Yeah, Queen Nia. There's only one of me. Yeah, it's definitely Nia Jax.
I'm not like most queens.
I can almost already hear like the collective outburst from the IWC of like, she could be queen. Like
they don't care.
Nia
no, they don't give a fuck.
Nia is overweight. Nia this, Nia that. All coming Saturday afternoon. And I'm gonna be on Twitter like I told y'all it was gonna be Nia.
Yeah.
Just tell us you can't handle a woman like that and just keep it moving. You don't need
to
try and take shots and everything like that. But yeah, no, 100%. And I do think this plays into it. And we've talked about it of we're in this era of there's mid-cardy people, whether it be even a Jey Uso, a Tiffany Stratton, a Nia Jax, what have you, that kind of need a thing but aren't going to be completely title holders right now out of the gate of we've got a lot of moving pieces. So you give her Queen of the Ring. She can get a title shot, probably Nia versus Bayley at SummerSlam. And I think that that's going to be a good match. And everybody's kind of hated on Nia since she's been back, but I think she's developed. And I think now you give her time and build up a story. Christ, there's nothing saying that Bayley isn't the champion going into that match.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I would love to disagree with you guys, but especially being that Gunther seems the heavy favorite coming out of Raw, then it only seems fitting that the Queen comes out of SmackDown and Nia. Yeah, I mean, Nia could lose, but I don't think she's going to. I think they're going to reward her for all the work she's done since she returned.
Look at the other two options here. As I think this is funny of Simone saying Nick B. Meltzer confirms Kevin Smith is Wyatt 6.
Right? Because
it's going to be Monday Night Tusk instead of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. Yeah. But the Jersey coordinates. Okay.
Right. Canadian Hosers 2 sequel confirmed.
There we go.
But if it's Lyra, her as Queen of the Ring, how do we feel about that? I know you've been out there of, well, she's always gotten pushed, even when we thought we weren't going to, she was going to get counted out. She still gets pushed. If it's Bianca, I think you're setting up the tension between her and Jay too fast. So Bianca, I rule out. Lyra would be a surprise.
Lyra would definitely be a surprise if she wins. I actually wouldn't have a problem with it. I don't think, as much as I want Nia to win, Lyra is not a bad choice. The fans have gotten behind her just as quickly as they have gotten behind Tiffany Stratton. So a Lyra win here would not surprise me at all.
Really?
Yeah.
That's been her thing. Like, she wins when we don't anticipate. And if you are trying to push her to the moon and elevate her, I don't necessarily like it. It might feel a little too much too soon. And okay, then she gets a title shot, and I mean, she'd be on the uber fast track.
Her gimmick is just luck. She's domino out here. I happen to always win these matches. I should probably lose.
No, but it's not even luck. It's based on this skill that they give. Like because she performs well in the ring, they continually give her the love, right? Like that's what her story's been. Is I might not have the biggest, brightest personality. I might not be Tiffy Time or Kiana, but you put me between those ropes, and I'm gonna bang.
So come SummerSlam, if it is still well, no, she'd be Raw, so it'd be her versus probably at that time either Liv or Christ. Then she gets eaten alive by the Liv and Rhea feud. So I don't see how that works, because that's the thing. Does she go against Rhea? Does she go against Liv? She is eaten alive there. So if now we've put this, prediction on the back, and I don't know if it stands.
That's even if Liv wins on Saturday, because you could run back. I was just about to say you could run back their feud in NXT. It's very easy and simple there.
So you think Liv doesn't win on Sunday?
I'm not. I said if she doesn't win. If she doesn't win on Sunday, they can run back the Becky Lynch feud with Lyra. And then when Rhea comes back, Rhea takes the belt from Becky. And then finally, Liv can finish her revenge tour duty. Ooh. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. If Liv doesn't win, they can run back Lyra and Becky.
You have that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I do like about this, because technically Belair could win. Belair should be, out of the three women left, the favorite, based on her resume. If she was to take the W, there could be running into some issues, like maybe they are fast tracking the issues between her and Jade. I don't think so, but they could. Running back Lyra, Becky, even a heel Liv champion eating alive, like your new up and coming baby face, is a possibility. Maybe Lyra gets fed to Liv at an upcoming summer pay-per-view, like SummerSlam. But yeah, this is why Nia Jax sounds compelling. And then you have Nia going after your SmackDown champion, Bayley.
Right. Yeah. I think that's the case. And so I guess we'll spiral right into the other match that we were talking about there, of Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship.
Liv!
Which women's title?
Liv.
Yeah.
I just want evidence that I'm cheering for her because she's single. How you doing?
Gotta live, laugh, love, and survive. Yes, it's got to be Liv Morgan.
I just feel like if Liv doesn't win, like, when is it going to be time? And I think that's my problem, because it's like I've been a huge Liv Morgan fan for a long time, and it's like every time she doesn't hit that stride, she needs more time, she's not ready. Who can you tell if you're not stepping in that ring when he or she is ready to hold the title?
Yeah,
you can't. Yeah. So it's like, at this point, being a Liv fan, and I made a video about this like last week, like I'm stressed out because I just want her to hold the title. Like, I'm stressed. I'm pulling my hair out every week. Just let her hold the
title. For me, it's almost the opposite of that. Of as much as it is like, okay, Liv's eventually got to get there, kind of like we were talking about with Jay.
Right.
I think beyond that, we kind of need to, Becky needs that moment. Give the belt, take the vacation we're supposed to take, go on your book tour, give people a chance to appreciate you a little more. And again, it does work right into Liv versus Rhea at some point.
It's 100% it works into that, and it's very much a little bit of, I guess, with the quote unquote feedback, if you, depending on how much you want to take into account Twitter and everything, of the feedback on Becky of, maybe go on your book tour, maybe go take a pause for the cause. Don't Jericho yourself. Don't overstay your welcome here. How can we miss you if you never go away? So take a sabbatical, be like Charlotte, all of that, and then come back and be kind of cast in a new light here.
Mm-hmm. I just want to throw it out there. Apparently, there's a Lily Lake near one of the coordinates. Just saying.
Lily. That's
anyway,
where all the Lily dolls still just float to the surface that were never sold.
One of the coordinates apparently lead to where Brian Pillman Jr. is from, in Erlanger, Kentucky. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
All right, back to y'all.
So we're all in agreement of Liv wins that match.
Yeah, I'm leaning Liv.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's unanimous, but yeah, I'm going Liv.
To me, it plays too much into the Rhea storyline and everything, and especially we've gotten almost Uncle Howdy-esque type teases of we've got Dom's handkerchief or his bandanas in Liv's pocket and shit like that. And man, they caught you in 8K. They didn't catch you in 4K, not in 1080p, not even 720, not 360. No, they caught you in 8K of you leaving the locker room together.
Yeah, I think Dom might be part of the reason why Liv wins. They've been playing with this Judgment Day connection to Liv. Why not have Dom pop up and be like, boo, Becky, and here we go.
And then Finn and Liv are getting out the same vehicle on Monday Night Raw. That's the video that's been going around? So
yeah.
Do we start to see the fractures develop and the fissures and everything develop amongst Judgment Day now that Rhea's not there, what have you? This can spiral off Dom into or Damien into what have you turn, Finn and JD and what have you turn, and Dom, etc. Go ahead. I think you threw your hand up, KJ.
Yeah, I feel like that has been happening. Like that's been an ongoing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think this is something they're going to start doing. I think like for the last few weeks, we've seen the arguments between Damien and ruffling the feathers. He doesn't want Carlito involved and kind of got behind it, but you see this kind of dissension amongst them all. Plus Dom's kind of going like free, kind of doing his own thing by bringing Carlito in. Finn and Damien haven't been getting along. Even before Rhea got hurt, they were all kind of button heads. And so I think this has been a developing thing. I wonder if Rhea's injury kind of delayed it a little bit, but I feel like it's been an ongoing for sure.
So is this the ultimate fracture here then? Is this one of those of where we get the full fucking split, the full dissolution?
Could be like a big step.
I've seen people throw the theory of Finn taking the title away from Damien. I don't know how that all fits in with potentially Drew McIntyre or CM Punk, which at this point I don't really think it needs the title. It's bigger than the title. But Finn could be the one to start that dissension to lead to a world title match down the line. I don't know.
Well, they did tease the demon Finn. Everyone's been talking about, oh my God, did
right.
you see the demon in the background? So maybe it would be Demon Finn versus Damien at Clash at the Castle. I mean, Scotland being a stone throws away from Ireland, kind of a home field advantage for Finn. Bringing back the demon for that type of show might work really well. Sorry, Nick, that busts your Drew idea. But
I was gonna have him.
But yeah, Finn Drew has to be a thing at some point, I think. Not Drew.
Well, and
Finn,
that's where I think that comes out of. Sorry?
I meant Finn Damien, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I think that comes out of when Drew takes the title. You spin that. I know Anthony said that Drew Punk doesn't need the title, but it could. And that's maybe how you backdoor your way back into Seth and everything like that. Which again may not need the title, but I think you can still get Finn versus Damien without the title too, especially if Finn costs Damien the title or anything like that.
Fair enough. Finn could cause him the title. I don't think it's gonna happen.
We've seen the tension back and forth between the two, so there's nothing saying that Finn doesn't even he's trying to help, and Damien's I don't need your fucking help, and that's what cost him the belt and everything, and then that's what sends those two off into a feud, and you still can get Drew versus Punk, Drew versus whoever. You need that kind of capitalizing moment for Drew. It needs to happen. You can't keep blue balls.
Why do you need that? I'm sorry, I'm trying to understand. He's in one of the biggest storylines in all of wrestling right now, on the heels of fucking up the title. So I don't understand why he has to have the title to fight Punk.
I won't say that he needs the title to fight Punk. I'm saying that he needs to win the title at some point because of having the blue balls moment. Like, it was one of those of, even if it's we get some fast title changes and everything like that, at least hold it for a fucking week. Hold it for longer than a fucking hour, my guy. Do something. Get rid of the, you fumble the bag, comments and everything at least.
Yeah. I think Drew will get that belt. He deserves it. He's earned it. He's one of the best heels in the entire industry right now.
Yeah.
I just don't think this concept wrestling fans throw this out all the time of they need this, but we forget how short-term memory works with everybody. And I see it the same thing with, Jey Uso's ruined. He's been buried. Yeah, but if they all of a sudden book him 4 weeks in a row where he's just barn burning, people forget that he lost a bunch. The
same people that were cheering for him versus Gunther are the same people that were hating on him when he beat Ilya.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe it's Drew McIntyre versus Gunther in Berlin for the title.
It all just leads back to people having their own narrative in their head of where they want things to go, and it's like, but you're not in control of booking the show. And it's good to have that thought process of you kind of having what you want to happen in the future, but if it doesn't happen, I feel like people don't need to be mad about it because you're not writing the show. Like, if like, as much as I want Nia to win on Saturday, if she doesn't, I'm gonna be okay. Right, that's the thing.
That's the line. That's literally what all three of us do here. Is we try and fantasy book it, try and guess their booking as far as we can down the road. But if it doesn't go the way that we think it should go, unless it's a complete fucking idiotic move, we're out here of, all right, here's how this can make sense, and here's how. All right, so now here's the next chapter we got. How do we write beyond that? Don't take it personal when the story that you built up in your own head doesn't come to fruition.
Right. Yeah, the people that take it personal of like, how could they do this? And again, it was the same people that, like, when Cody lost at WrestleMania the first time, he's ruined, he's over, he should quit, he should retire, that were all going banana sandwich this year when he won it. And are the same people who are like, take the belt off him, he's boring. So we can't win. We can't win.
There's no pleasing you. Whoa, Christ, we've still only made it through 3 out of the 5 matches, so we've still got 10 matches to go.
Well, 3 hours of fucking streaming to do, apparently.
Fair enough. We talk a lot.
Drew McIntyre. I like that.
Oh. But so Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed in a triple threat match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship.
I don't know, and this is going to be very, very mean. I don't know why Bronson Reed is all involved with this. I would rather it to be Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn. I don't get, and this is going to be really mean. I don't get the appeal of Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed does not bring anything to me other than his high-flying moves as a big guy. He is boring, and I'm not interested. So, that being said, Sami Zayn retains.
I agree with you had me in the first half. I don't like Bronson Reed in this situation. I believe the story that could have been told is Chad Sammy. I'm not in love with the triple threat, but I'm picking Chad Gable to win. Fuck it.
I'll agree with you. Chad Gable wins. Anthony, would you like to explain as to why you feel that Bronson Reed has no part in this match, should not be involved in this scene at all, does nothing for you? The man's fucking Bam Bam Bigelow reincarnated on the other side of the fucking continent, on the world and everything.
I thought my opinion of Bronson Reed would change when I started watching his run in TNA in 2022. When he was brought to the WWE and watching him there, I was not impressed. Like, his wrestling ability is great. I'm not denying that. But him as a character is really, really boring. So him being in TNA, when I started watching like the old TNA, I was like, or Impact Wrestling, I was like, okay, maybe there's something here that I could really grasp to with Bronson Reed. His name was different over there in Impact. I don't remember what it was.
Jonah.
Yes, Jonah. And nothing was interesting about him. It's just this. To me, it's like his personality. It's like this is his personality outside of the ring, and it's straight boring. And I don't know. I don't know if my ears just block it out, but I feel like he doesn't even get a crowd reaction when he comes out.
You might be a little bit right about that.
Go ahead.
The crowd reaction and stuff, I mean, subdued, and I think there was a bit of a stop and start with him. I think he's a highly talented guy. I'm a big fan of him. I think when pushed right as a big heel, it will work. I do think that Bendy is correct. Bronson's in there to take the pin. Either Sammy or Chad are going to win, and this will ultimately lead to another match at Money in the Bank. But Richard thinks the opposite of what I said.
No, I think Gable wins at Saudi, but I hear what you're saying, and I understand it. With with Bronson has not been presented in the best of light. I think that there 100% is untapped potential. I don't mind his kind of, so good, baby, a little bit with being Bronson Reed with the suit and the chain and everything like that. Like the man athletically in the ring can fucking go. He hits moves that are, like I said, reminiscent to Bam Bam Bigelow. There's a far and few of big men that can move and hit moves like Bronson Reed. I think he's been a victim of he who shall not be named's booking, and I think not everyone can really catch flame at the same time. So I think we're simmer sauteing a little.
Yeah, now I'm kind of flopping on my own pick, and I might go Sammy. You're talking me into Sammy. You're talking me.
How did I even talk you into that? I was talking up Bronson and talked you into Sammy.
I was listening to all of that, and I'm like, all right, maybe Richard's onto something that we save it. But then you're literally having Sammy go under in Toronto, which is possible. I think this is a candidate for a possible match of the night, though.
Oh, absolutely. I think you're going to, to Anthony's point, even if it was just Gable versus Sammy, candidate for match of the night. So I think you add Bronson Reed, you can get those huge high spots. You can get a holy shit moment, what have you out of it. I still think this is Gable's win because he's still got enough legs tread on the tire. He's getting enough traction as a heel. And I think we could even potentially, I'm ready, willing, and Gable for when we get Kurt Angle paired up with Chad Gable. Sorry.
I think I figured out the Scarborough, why Scarborough's here.
Okay.
Maybe. Sorry, just complete random thought.
Flag on the field.
The Kyle A. Scarborough, the artist who worked with Bray Wyatt, really good friends with Bray Wyatt. So
we're getting down to last names.
He was in the documentary. Just a side note, scrap concept art. So that all that concept art is Kyle A. Scarborough. So food for thought, folks.
So we're getting into surnames here. We're getting into the shit into the biblics.
This is deep. But back to the topic at hand. So you're going who?
Gable. Ready, willing, and Gable.
Sami Zayn.
So 2 Sammy and 1 Gable. Or did you officially switch your pick, sir, to Sammy? In the middle.
I'm gonna go Sammy.
It'd be uncouth, un-Canadian of you to not take your fellow Canadian brother.
Yeah, I think the Creed brothers are going to help Gable get that belt soon, though.
Just not now?
Maybe not. I mean, maybe not now. The Saudi shows are all about like the crowd and like doing over like Sammy's loved in Saudi. I think he wins.
Theoretically, though, so far this would be predominantly a heel heavy show of Gunther, potentially Nia, Liv potentially, and then if Gable wins, it'd be heel heavy show. So Sammy might be kind of one of those, the outlier babyface that gets a win on the show.
Well,
Because
what
go ahead.
What about the Otis part of this whole storyline?
Yeah.
Right? Like, could Otis cause Chad, and then Chad's not involved? Like, Chad doesn't get and then not only does Chad not get the win, now he's preoccupied with Otis, and Bronson and Sammy are the ones that continue past Saudi.
Anthony, Mr. I Hate Bronson Reed.
I forgot about Otis though. I don't know. That's a good theory. But anything involving Bronson Reed, I'm gonna eventually just shut down. I think Bronson Reed winning or being involved in any winning scenario, that would be the time I would turn into the IWC and just be very, very angry.
Bitter.
And bitter.
Just mad for no reason. I think Otis helps Gable, and then we slow play, we simmer saute, because we even saw this, what was it, on Monday Night Raw, to where we felt like we were going to get the Otis turn because he got slapped in the face and everything like that, and he turns around and he's clotheslining Sami Zayn and everything. So I think he might be indoctrinated into that Ready, Willing, and Gable here, and then he kind of has that, Kane under Paul Bearer moment and just snaps free.
Yeah, eventually, for sure. But then does Otis? Yeah, then Otis could go after the IC title if Gable had it at that point.
Shit, go after Bronson Reed at this point. Just big beefy boys slapping me. I'm all the way for it. Just two ham hocks just smacking each other in the center of the ring.
This is a wrecking ball match.
Right. Miley Cyrus, special guest referee.
Right. All right, what's next on the docket?
So main event for King and Queen of the Ring. Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul, not for 2 titles, but for 1 title for the Undisputed WWE Championship.
This is a slam dunk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Like, we don't even have to debate it that much.
Right.
Perfect heel move for Logan to pull up the lawyer to not defend his belt. Perfect. Gets booed for it. And it just solidifies that this was just,
Is it weird that they kind of teased it initially, that we all kind of thought this might have been for both belts here initially, that the fact that even entered our minds was that a little.
They teased it, and
they teased it. Cody Rhodes sent out a tweet talking about 2 belts, so it was definitely on the table. I felt.
Yeah, I know it was, but I'm saying, was it a good idea to do that and then to pull it back, or like to even tease it, what have you?
100%. It's exactly what they did. Again, it continues the lore of the big giant asshole that is Logan Paul. So you put it out there. Oh, Cody might win 2 belts. Logan's going to lose his belt. And then, no, not happening. My lawyers say, fuck y'all.
Yeah, but did we not all look at that potential decision, just kind of be like, what the fuck? There's no way they're doing this. Like, we can go back in hindsight in 2020 and say, now it was a good idea that they did that because it makes Logan look like an asshole. But as initially, we're all like, what the fuck are they doing?
That wasn't everybody. There was a big contingent of fans that wanted, 2 belts Cody. Like, because our little bubble.
I tweeted out 2 belts Cody. So
yeah.
I'm just asking.
Don't be an AEW fan. You got to look past your
bubble. I'm just asking questions.
No, I think it's perfect. You kind of tease something. People want to see Logan Paul lose. People would love for Cody to have 2 belts. And then you have the heel, pull it away. And that's what I thought was really well done. The contract signing, like right up until the moment where Aldis brought out a contract for both belts, belt versus belt. And the lawyer had a different contract that Cody had to get frustrated and sign in anger. Perfect. Well played.
If the neck tat don't fit, you must have quit. Right. But has Logan Paul become kind of the Mansoor, the Mansour of Saudi shows? Of he's out there, he's going to be in a prominent match, but just takes the job.
I was like, how the fuck are you going to connect those dots?
Like, exactly. I'm going to connect them dots like a son bitch.
A little bit, right?
Right.
Quickly, I want to say thank you to Geekbox. Again, the super chat. I completely forgot what we called them. Otis snaps on Gable. Sammy retains From it, at SummerSlam, Gable gets his one-on-one match. The Creed brothers help Gable win, creating new heel stable. Not bad.
Okay.
There you go.
The only thing I would change there is maybe Money in the Bank instead of SummerSlam.
Yeah, I keep forgetting how far out SummerSlam is.
Yeah.
Like, that's a ways away.
It's far.
Yeah.
I think, what is it, like August? Like the first weekend in August? It's
Yeah.
it's far.
What is that noise?
I have fireworks going off around me. 100%. I'm in a drill, you PKK. That's what I have going on. I was hoping that no one had mentioned it, so I wasn't sure if anyone noticed, except for me.
I
But
thought the Howdy shit had
I've been
restarted.
in West Baghdad right now with all these fireworks going off.
I literally thought the Howdy shit had restarted. It was like the scratching.
I'm just you. Hey, you live there, and he sent all the fireworks and the pyrotechnics over to me.
There you go. Any more matches for King of the Ring?
That is it for King of the Ring.
Right.
So, do we want to talk about Double Dose of Nothing, or do we want to talk about SummerSlam going to 2 nights in 2025, 2026?
Real quick.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because there was someone in the chat that brought it up. I think it was Spaz Phoenix or whatever his name is that mentioned it when we were here live on Tuesday about the idea of a 2-night SummerSlam, and we both kind of poo-pooed it of like it takes away from what WrestleMania is. I don't know if they could find something that would be able to fill a storyline and be able to, fill out 2 nights here with that, I feel. And now we turn around and advertise 2 nights in Minnesota.
Go ahead.
Right.
It kind of surprised me about the 2-night SummerSlam. First of all, I had to realize we were in 2024 because I was like, wait a minute, SummerSlam is in Minneapolis next year, thinking we were in 2025. But it does surprise me with the 2-night SummerSlam. I hope this is just because, and you mentioned it, Nick, in our group chat earlier, because they didn't get WrestleMania. I like SummerSlam being 1 night. I think having 2 nights back to back that quick within a couple of months of each other, I think is a bit much. So I hope it's just the one thing for 2026, and then they go back to just having 1 nights after. But I think this is mainly because, like you said, Nick, they didn't get WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I have been on the record, so I'm kind of stuck here because I'm on the record. I don't even like the 2-night WrestleMania. To me, the WrestleManias, the big shows were like, those are your best of your best, and not everybody gets to be on the show. But in 2024, we're all about participation. So everybody's got to get on the show. So we have 2 nights. But realistically, if you step back from a financial standpoint, because they're doing these mega weekends, so what we just saw in Philadelphia, where you're there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at some point, now we're looking 2026, 27, 28, it could be kind of, the only one that wouldn't work is kind of Royal Rumble, but the 4 main
No, you get 1 Rumble one night, and you get one Rumble the other night.
Oh, yeah, that's valid. Hey, 1-0 Edmonton. But yeah, no, like the 4 big shows now, because they're kind of just the same as all the other shows. If you want to differentiate them, then the 4 big ones all become 2-night events. And it's all about this.
I love and hate that idea all at the same time.
Me too.
Because on one hand, there are times to where, like, if it was a split up to where you had 1 Rumble one night and another Rumble the other night, that actually might go over a bit better. That might be a little bit more digestible and everything. Or even if you had a 1 night Survivor Series, then you followed up with the next night a War Games match, what have you, instead of ingesting in the same night. I do worry that it takes away from what makes WrestleMania special, because then do we get into where we get 3-night WrestleManias and we get 4-night SummerSlams and everything. And I know we've talked about this.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, I was going to say, we've talked about how
a limit.
There ain't no fucking limit. We've talked about this on the other nights and everything about how they've been when they have a WrestleMania that's 2 nights and everything like that, how the wrestling world collapses in on a city to where we sit there and we have GCW has fucking 5 shows in 3 days somehow and everything. AEW will still run a show. TNA will run a show. This promotion, that promotion, everything like that. I think it's going to be you just have the traveling circus that follows, and now we'll set up for weekend staycations. We've already seen it with the TKO potential deals. If we're going to merge UFC weekends and WWE weekends, we've already heard talks about to where they're going to merge their event planning departments and everything like that.
Yep.
So we're going to have whole kind of Festivus for the rest of us weekends when it comes to pro wrestling. So I don't think the realm of 3 fucking night WrestleManias and shit like that. It just extrapolate. Yeah. We might be in 10 years from that, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, right after they announce 4-day weeks, we'll go to 3-day WrestleManias. Like we're going to tune in one day and it'd be like, welcome to day 17 of WrestleMania.
Right. We had WrestleMania Backlash. We could almost go 2 months.
Right.
It makes me
I get your point for sure, but I think because like when you see that you can jam 150,000 people into Philadelphia in 2 days, can we do it in Cleveland in August? So if you separate them in those quarterly pay-per-views and again, you're right, because now WrestleMania. But when I was growing up, those 4 pay-per-views were the big 4. So if those are the big 4 and everything else in between is one night, then there's your separation.
That's very valid. That's incredibly valid. Like that, I can't really deny that because I would argue even that the other 3 out of the big 4 have felt a little lackluster, a little dollar story versus, Super Costco there with Walmart or with with WrestleMania.
I don't necessarily feel like the other 3 were sidelined. I feel like it was just one of them that was sidelined, and that was Survivor Series. I feel like Royal Rumble always had the buzz.
War games. So.
Yeah, no, and that's what I was about to get to. I feel like Royal Rumble always had the buzz. SummerSlam had the buzz. Obviously, WrestleMania. It wasn't until we got War Games when Survivor Series started to buzz again. Yeah. I think people were tired of the 5-on-5 elimination tag team match every year. It seemed like people were tired. I wasn't. I didn't mind it. I always loved the Raw versus SmackDown type thing that comes around Survivor Series.
Did SummerSlam have the weakest build out or like the weakest kind of buzz, what have you, out of the big 4? Like, did SummerSlam stop feeling like the biggest party of the summer, especially when you're holding it in like mid to late August and everything? Like you're tap dancing on fall here. Like what?
No,
I don't know, but when's the last big SummerSlam moment you remember? The last one I can think of is when Roman returned in like fucking 2020. That's 4 years.
Well, I mean, last SummerSlam was good. SummerSlam's always felt like a big deal to me. Well, I agree with Anthony. The one that always kind of felt off, and it's Vince McMahon's fault, because Survivor Series when it first started was this real cool concept where, me and Anthony or me and Nick have beef and I'm going to go find friends and we're going to fight. Then it became gimmicky and then it just became unimportant. It was just like thrown in there with all the singles matches. The old Survivor Series, you get 5 of like these rivalries where heel versus babyface matches you would never see, guys that usually don't fight each other. But SummerSlam's been fine by me forever. I have no issue.
Right. And I went to the past 2 SummerSlam. So, for me, like it was the Brock Lesnar tractor trailer moment at WrestleMania now.
Yeah. Fair. That's why I ask questions.
Last year we had the cash in for me with Io Sky. And we had Jay turning on Jimmy all in the same night.
We had the greatest microphone catch of all time with Roman Reigns.
And if we take it back even further, the SummerSlam where Brock Lesnar basically demolished John Cena when he did the Suplex City. I think it was like 16 German suplexes.
Yeah.
So, and for me, I think for Survivor Series, if we're talking about Big 4, the biggest moment in the past 5 years for the Survivor Series was the build up for the women's SmackDown versus Raw when Nia Jax punched Becky Lynch. After that, you could say, I guess, The Rock and Cena teaming up to take on The Miz and I think it was R-Truth in a tag team match.
Oh, you're talking recent Survivor Series where we had the Bloodline, and a War Games match where we had
Oh
Io
no. I'm talking about pre.
Oh,
I'm
so we're
about
going to be
Vince
selective.
McMahon.
We're selective.
Oh no,
with what
because
we want to argue.
earlier I said Survivor Series didn't become like popular again until War Games. So I'm talking Vince McMahon.
That's how many years have we had War Games? We've had War Games
only had
the
it
past
twice.
couple years.
We've only had it twice.
I feel like am I thinking of NXT? Did NXT have War Games before?
I'm talking about Survivor Series War Games, not NXT.
No, that's what I was asking, sir. Your Honor. Objection.
Your questions lack question marks. They sound like statements. But yeah, I think SummerSlam's been good. So, I mean, again, I think Anthony kind of smashed the last couple ones.
You have that. That ain't what I'm mad at. Guilty. Yeah, fuck you. But so is there any sort of indifferent wrestling news that we want to talk about or anything like that before we get it into
not at the hour 50 mark?
Double dose of nothing.
Not at the 2 hour mark, my guy. We got to get through AEW.
Fair enough. So Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay for the AEW International Championship.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Them's his words.
I don't know how I feel about Will Ospreay being 100%. In a secondary title. Yeah, I don't, because I feel like he's just gonna win. But then does he drop the title before? And this is just me off the wall thinking. Does he drop the title before he faces potentially Swerve at All In? That's in Wembley, or All Out. I think it's All Out. That's in Wembley.
All In Wembley.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm taking Ospreay to win. That's my prediction. But I don't know how I feel about him winning a secondary title or being in this secondary title feud.
I don't know how it's not Ospreay. It has to,
right.
I don't know how you get out of it. To me, the two biggest signings, whether we love it or hate it, but the two biggest signings of 2024 for AEW was Mercedes Moné and Will Ospreay. And they're both competing. And if you want to throw Okada in the mix, where all the AEW fans wet their pants and went, we got the big three. All three of them are mid-card champions by the end of the week.
Major mid-card sightings, my guy. 100%.
What the fuck are we doing? I don't get it. I mean, but yeah, Ospreay, I mean, I can't imagine, unless you're setting up, Adam Cole's ready to come back. Adam Cole costs Ospreay. Then Roddy gets to stay champion, but then Ospreay fights Cole. No,
I can see them doing some dumb shit to where they have, the Undisputed Kingdom. They have, Taven and Bennett and fucking Wardlow, what have you, end up costing Ospreay, and we set up all this dumb bullshit and everything. But this has to be Ospreay, and I think this is the biggest sign of we're diverting Ospreay from taking on Swerve at All In. We're gonna try and book the narrative that everybody thought we were gonna do to still try and validate Swerve as a champion, even though they've shat all over him. But I think this is the way that they can divert it, and they don't know how to fucking divert a train that's got momentum beyond this.
Could that be do they try and recreate the title versus title moment? It's Ospreay and his title versus Swerve and his title.
As long as no one's doing this and Raw that with Hogan and Warrior. No.
Right. Now, the go home show last night was crazy. We had 7 afterbursts. Every match had a brawl after it. We had 2 different car spots. If you know Tony Khan is going to pull up, it's so weird that Nana also pulled up. You did 2 car spots in the same show. You had a flamethrower. You had Ospreay bleeding. You had Tony Storm gets hit with a high heel shoe. We got a bloodbath.
Yeah, for the shoe.
The FTW thing was a complete shit show. Back-to-back nights, we saw a double pin in a triple threat. That's not their fault. NXT did it too. But yeah, I don't know. This is like Sunday is going to be chaos for better or for worse. Ospreay has to come out of this looking like a champ. No.
100%. I was going to say you're tied in a flamethrower and a bloodbath into this.
Chaos. He was bleeding. They made him bleed.
Welcome to AEW Wrestling in 2024. The fucking matches are made up and the results don't matter.
I don't think there's any other outcome to this match other than Will Ospreay winning. That's kind of how I feel.
But is that kind of just shit that I know you kind of talked about this, KJ, but isn't it kind of just shit that you have one of your biggest signings and this is supposed to be your 5-year anniversary pay-per-view. This is supposed to be one of your fucking staple big 4 or whatever, however many pay-per-views you have. And you have one of your biggest signings and they're out here going at Roderick Strong for a mid-card title and ain't kind of doing shit. And, you know, they've been having to fucking carry this with a load of sandbags like no other year.
Well, and I think beyond that, it's not like you have like Roderick Strong, the backbreaker, you know, the professor of whatever.
Mind you, I think this has the potential to be one of the matches of the night.
Oh,
in ring.
100%. They're going to cook. That's the fucking ironic part. And this is kind of how right now AEW's hot shotting everything. So Tony will get away with a really good match and go, see what I did? But, you know, we had Roddy running around in a neck brace, screaming at him at the top of his lungs and making peanut butter sandwiches. And
with giraffes.
With giraffes, being completely a joke gimmick. And now we're supposed to take him serious against arguably the best professional wrestler in the world in 2024. One of.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
The Undisputed Kingdom story, we don't give a fuck about anymore. That's just gone. That's burned up. That's wasted. That is lost. Don't even try and revive that.
They are. They're not done with it. I'm telling you.
Just quit trying to serve me fucking past the sell-by date fucking stories.
Right. Dale saying the ratings last night were 713. So an improvement. Not a big W, but an improvement. Above dirt is better than below dirt, I guess.
Right. You can breathe above dirt. So
Timeless Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's World Championship. And who is the babyface and who is the heel in this?
Why are we even here with this match? I know I like Serena Deeb. I do, but why? Like Toni Storm was in a nice, decent, somewhat okay feud with Deonna Purrazzo, and then that was sidelined for Serena Deeb. I don't get it. Toni Storm
got caught up with Thunder Rosa.
That's true. Toni Storm retains. I guess.
Why is that match then not on the pay-per-view? Now maybe it ends up on the pay-per-view, but you had a little bit of a build and we forgot about it. Like, do we remember that they're still mad at each other? No, they weren't on this week's show. Like, what are we doing? You can have a women's match on the pay-per-view that isn't a title match. Like, take Jericho off the pay-per-view, put Deonna and Thunder Rosa on the pay-per-view.
You're trying to get me to defend AEW's shit women's division, and it's not going to be happening out here because it's so funny that we can watch an NXT that'll have 3 to 4 women's matches. They're all better and all have more cohesive storyline, etc., or even a TNA Impact and everything. But meanwhile, we're out here trying to still figure out who's the babyface and who's the heel of, why isn't this? Why isn't Thunder Rosa involved in this match? Why isn't Peraza involved in this match? Is Serena Deeb a babyface or a heel? Merchandising. But
No,
it's you have Serena Deeb out here of trying to be the babyface, but still being kind of the heel. You have Tony Storm out here of coming out underneath Serena Deeb's dojo, flag and everything like that. It's provocative. No one knows what it means, but it gets the people going.
Yeah. And I talked about this with the fans last night. We obviously saw it going around a lot, and this fallacy that heels and baby faces in wrestling are dead. It bothers me that apparently a guy who's been professionally covering wrestling forever thinks you can go heel. It's situational. Heels and baby faces. The dumbest, most asinine bullshit I've ever heard in my life. And we've seen it with this Tony Storm, Serena Deeb thing. It's fucking Serena Deeb comes back, and Serena Deeb's demeanor, attitude, approach is very heelish. She has a very endearing story, great, but everyone likes cheering for this, spastic Tony Storm, who's been the most charismatic, outgoing character in the women's division. But she's the heel with a heel sidekick who's making out with a strange Japanese girl. And then you got Serena, who's just lost in the whole mix of it. Same thing happened with Deonna Purrazzo. You made a big deal. Wow, what a huge signing. We got Deonna. Our women's division is going next level. And she was the baby face. And Tony was the heel. And it was wrong because Deonna's an amazing heel. And Tony's getting cheered by everybody. It doesn't make sense. So nobody cares. This match is going to put us to sleep. And I love both these women. It makes me sad because I love both these women.
I'm still stuck on the strange Japanese girl.
I think I'm turning Japanese. I don't know where she came
from.
Think so.
Oh, they used to be tag partners. I don't give a shit why they make
Joshi wrestling. 100%. It's this whole storyline is the definition of it's provocative. No one knows what it means, but it gets the people going. Right. Whichever direction that may be is one side or the other here. Like Serena Deeb comes out and talks about how she had her whole experience with having seizures out the blue and everything like that. We were even out here talking about it of T's and P's. Hopefully she can get her shit together. Hopefully she's doing well, everything like that. She's able to come back and wrestle. She's out there talking about how she almost died and they're booing her because she doesn't do the shit in black and white and everything. Yeah. Meanwhile, like you said, we've got Maria May, who was supposed to be the one to usurp Tony Storm. That's now just you're the Robin to Batman now.
Mm-hmm. And I thought with Mariah May coming in, it was teased that this was going to be similar to the Mickey James Trish Stratus thing from years ago, and it has not. I don't know, the whole idea of Tony Storm being champion right now, it just bugs me because I feel like it should have been Deonna Purrazzo. That's kind of how I feel, and then we just pivoted into this thing with Serena Deeb, and then when she came out to challenge Tony Storm, you couldn't even hear what she was saying because they couldn't get the audio right. So it's I'm not even invested.
Is it weird that your top women's title match is not your top women's match on the pay-per-view?
Is that
absolutely? When you have, and I know the past couple of streams I've been watching you guys, you've talked about Willow being bigger than Mercedes Moné, and at this point I do agree, no disagreement there. But you do have two of the biggest women right now going after the secondary title, and it feels like the secondary title is the main title right now for the women's division.
You knew you were signing Mercedes Moné. You knew you were signing Sasha Banks. So you have Willow, who was a babyface, is a really good babyface. Take the belt off of heel Tony Storm months ago. Then Sasha comes in, and now going into Double or Nothing, you have Willow versus Sasha for your top title. And that's where, okay, you're going to pay her $10 million a year. You're going to make her the highest paid woman in all of wrestling. Then here's your main event status. You're fighting for the TBS belt that nobody gives a shit about. That the originally, for the last year, 2 years, all the understudies, the up and comers, the green girls that held the TBS belt.
No, who held it versus who challenged for it, because who held it was Stat and Jade.
Yeah, Jade was green as shit. Took her 7 months to train. Stat was still learning herself and figuring herself out. As much as I love Stat.
I'm not arguing as to who was there, but I think that they had a big investment with them and everything like that. Like, trust me, I fully understand that. Mm-hmm. Sasha should not be challenging for your mid-card title here. Let's think about your big investments, your big free agent signings if you're AEW. Mercedes Moné challenging for TBS title. Will Ospreay challenging for international title. Kazuchika Okada, currently your Continental Classic champion. What the fuck? You're not holding any real prominent world title, not even contending for it, not a number one contender, not in a major storyline, a major feud, anything like that. And honestly, this whole storyline between Willow and Sasha has just pretty much just got Willow over. Like, I think we all kind of just want Willow to win and just fuck you, Mercedes. CE no.
The entrance music sucked. It's a built-in chant that's not working, and she's a heel. That's the same thing they did with. Do y'all remember when they debuted Saraya and Saraya was going to revolutionize? And the minute she started talking, the AEW faithful were like, "Boo! Tony didn't learn shit." He did the same thing with Monet. If you're going to bring her in and have that attitude of, I come from the bigger, I come from elsewhere and I'm the best. You see it. They're just shitting on her. And poor Willow's going to drop that belt, and she doesn't deserve to drop that belt. She's earned that belt.
That's been the biggest travesty with all of this. There's no way to recoup anything out of this match, honestly, at this point, because Willow should win. She's your biggest draw with that title. She's probably, honestly, at this point, your biggest draw in the women's division because Britt's out, Jamie Hayter's out, etc. She's your biggest draw in that division. She's over more even than your main champion, which, again, we can talk about that.
I don't know about that. Hold on.
Fair enough. Whatever. Split hairs. I will concede that to finish my point.
I'm not going to fight you on it. It's
You're right, but that's the thing is, think about what you paid. If you're Tony and you paid to have Mercedes there and have her for this locked-in deal, and she's out there, CEO and everything. And again, the crowd's kind of out there of CE no. They're kind of over it. They don't want her to win. People more want Willow to win with this. So what do you recoup in this? You either bury arguably your biggest women's babyface to suffice what you've spent on a talent, or you hope that she can figure it out and you've just fucked everything. Like, you have a lot of risk, no reward.
Yeah, that sums it up pretty good.
And it's what we perceive as the outcome. Like, if Willow wins, then you invested this much money in Sasha for her to do the JOB in her first match. Like, that's a bad investment. A match
that we waited 2 months for.
Yeah, that's a bad investment.
Sorry, Anthony. Mercedes.
I was just gonna say I'm more scared to see, like, if this is her first match back. Like, I'm scared to see, like, if she immediately gets injured. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just have that feeling because, like, once she went to to New Japan, she wrestled 3 matches and then was injured. And I'm fearful for that. Like, we waited this long and then she could potentially get injured. She's been injured a lot throughout her entire career, even in WWE. So I'm more concerned about that. How that looks. But Sunday we'll see. But yeah, I hate that Willow is going to be the one to probably lose this match because, like KJ said, both of you guys have really said it, that she's really earned this over her course of her career in AEW. So I don't know.
Even in the course of this storyline, she's been the one.
She's been the one. Mm-hmm.
And you talk about it being one of the 3 triple main event. Well, Tony was there last night. Serena Deeb was there last night. What did we get for Willow and Mercedes? a preview package. Well, why aren't they there if they're one of the main events? Why weren't they highlighted last night on Dynamite? Help me
You want to
understand.
have her cut a live promo?
Yeah,
You
they
want to
that's
have
why
your
they,
ears bleed? Is that what you want?
right. Spaz Phoenix is back with Super Chat. Good to see you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gave you guys a shout out on KQOTR. I like it. Preview available now where you video and pod. I'd love your community to come hang out. Happy wrestling weekend all. Well, thank you, Spaz. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. And yeah, go check out Spaz, guys.
Right.
I don't usually say that out loud. Next match. Are we good with next
I was
match?
gonna say we got a rapid fire here. I need to hit a restroom here. Copeland versus Malachi Black in a barbed wire steel cage match. And shit. And if I wanted to have something that we're gonna not talk about a lot, this fucking menopause of a match was not it.
I think this match is gonna be good. Anthony?
Yeah, I feel like Adam Copeland's been doing some good things in AEW. He's really enjoying it himself there. I don't see Malachi Black winning. I don't know. So I'm gonna choose Adam Copeland. I don't know why I keep calling him Adam Cole.
I think I kind of agree with you. I think this match can be surprisingly good because of the people involved.
Yeah.
And I wish I said this last night. All the spooky stuff they're doing now should have started a month ago. Like you could have done the mind games leading up to this, opposed to just Adam Copeland got beat up until the week before and then he freaked out and went, oh, vampire on us. But I think it could be a really good match. I'm looking forward to this match. I would love Malachi to win. I really don't believe he will. So I'm leaning Copeland unless somehow the House of Black help Edge win. Or Malachi.
Fair enough. So we're just gonna ignore this whole Gangrel fucking bloodbath thing and everything.
Yeah.
That, progressive, it was heavy with the flow. All that.
You get some wings and get out of here if you don't hurry up.
Tai Chi.
Right.
But yeah, that was aggressive. That bloodbath on Malachi was aggressive. There's been a lot of people have made a lot of memes about it. I think we're very much setting up for Brood Adam Copeland. We'll probably we feel we get a Gangrel appearance? Because I've also seen that floating around about how he wanted Gangrel for 39 and he couldn't, and Tony will pay for it. So fuck it.
But they already did with the Hardys on this fucking show.
Fuck it, though. Welcome to AEW. Fuck it. It's all vampire wrestling. We have bloodbath. We have Hangman Page out there sucking blood out of Swerve's forehead and everything. This is True Blood.
Right?
This is just all fuck it wrestling.
Go full Brood.
I got money.
Give me Christian then. Go full Brood. Drop the Patriarch. Yeah, let's go. You want to impress me? Go all out.
Could they do it with the trademarks though? But I think we fully get Gangrel at least something. Like we're gonna get some red mist, all of that. We're gonna be drinking from the chalice or everything. Full Gangrel. I do think Adam Copeland wins this, and then Malachi Black get put on ice, much like Ricky Starks. So I heard you want to leave, so you can sit there and wait until you leave.
We only put you in this angle because Adam Copeland asked for it. Thank you. You did your job. Goodbye.
Right. Thank you. Have a nice day. Like that's the thing is, I think once some contracts come up, it's going to be very interesting. And I think there's even one person. I'll say, Konosuke Takeshita. I think he's now entered that realm of once my is up, I'm out.
I'm out.
You think right now if he slid into WWE with what he could do with that size, with that frame, with who's in charge and everything, that he's not at least IC title, US title?
I think he would do
North
really
American title, him versus Oba.
I think they would groom him extremely well in NXT and set him up. And he definitely has a lot of potential, a lot of upside. And even he said, I'm working really fucking hard and I don't seem to be going anywhere.
Welcome to Tony Khan.
Yeah. Next match.
John, speaking of it, John Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita in a title eliminator match. If I could write the Wikipedia fucking timeline better, I wish I could. But yeah.
Why are we having an eliminator match on a pay-per-view? That's my first question. My second question is,
fuck you, that's why.
My second question is, like, this is going to sound very, very bad. People complained about the championship contender match with WWE, but don't say anything about the eliminator match with AEW. They're the same thing, and they both are terrible. Why are we doing these anyway? I don't get it. And the second thing is, it really just needs to. The third thing, it really just needs to be for the title. It's a pay-per-view. Have it for the title. And New Japan already came out and said they don't really treat the title the same way in AEW like they treated in New Japan. So, like, this is another pointless match. I'm sorry. I'm just a Debbie Downer with this whole Double or Nothing card.
And like I said, it's a double dose of nothing out here.
Anthony's like, you guys are lucky I like you, or I'd be gone. I don't want to talk about this. No, I mean, I agree. This is another one of those matches where save it for Dynamite, save it for Collision, save it for the next New Japan Strong show, right. But keep it off Double or Nothing because less is more, quality over quantity. This match does not need to be on. Like, I don't give a fuck that you're defending the IWGP title, which I couldn't fucking save to save my life last night. But I don't care about an eliminator match or a title defense of another company's belt on this show. I don't think it's necessary. You have all these champions. We don't need this belt defended on this show.
Well, it's not even defended. It's almost pretend defended. This is the definition of a contract workaround here of we're gonna say you were in a title match, what have you. This is Tai Chi, ho 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 ho. We can say you were in a moment, and we can try and appease New Japan, and Moxley's gonna be out there, and he's gonna bleed like this. Theoretically, if this was for the title, be a hell of a match. Honestly, like I would be interested in this match, but because it's a fucking title eliminator. I don't care because nothing has any ramifications on anything.
Yeah, outside of like a King of the Ring or a Royal Rumble, when do they ever do a number one contenders match on a pay-per-view? Pay-per-views are for payoffs. Like it's not a common practice.
It's not a common practice. I mean, TNA does it every now and again. I think they just did it last year at Against All Odds. They had the 8-4-1 match to determine the number one contender. Yeah. I mean, but that was interesting. This is not. So
point proven there.
Yeah. No, I mean, we could do without this, and realistically, us three sitting here right now, John Moxley's going to come out. It's going to be a jump start. They're going to fight around the arena. Takeshita's going to hit some good moves. John Moxley's going to sell none of them. And then John Moxley's eventually probably going to choke him out, even though I'm going to pick Takeshita because maybe it sets up the title match he deserves.
Fair enough.
John Moxley not going to bleed in the first 3 seconds. I know it's not that type of match, but he has to bleed sometimes.
Bro, they saved up all of the Moxley blood that he hasn't bled, and they just released it when Malachi Black was there. That's what it was. It was just bloodletting of John Moxley.
Right. That was Moxley was
it was all the built up blood of just I need to let it out. That's why he constantly has to bleed in every match within 3 seconds, otherwise he just explodes. No, this is a fucking terrible match. Terrible match in the sense of realistically, if this was a title match, this would be great. If this was even on especially on a New Japan show, this would be great. this is a fucking title eliminator match that's probably going to fall in the first half hour to second half hour of what is probably a 5-hour show. So this is going to be some bullshit that I don't really care about. And I really wish that, and Takeshita's even said it, of I should be booked better, I should be treated better.
Yeah.
That's why I still think he's going to be the first and next on the train of, once my contract is out, I'm out. I'm first train to Connecticut.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Agreed.
Next match.
Oh, Jesus. Trent Beretta versus Orange Cassidy. And why does this match not have a stipulation when the other one does?
So from my knowledge, Trent Beretta did turn on Orange Cassidy, right? And that's how
correct.
we got. Okay. All right.
But Don Callis is trying to recruit Orange Cassidy in the like.
Why not Trent?
Why not Trent? This is so funny. It should be a great match, though. It should be a really good match. It should be a good match.
Should be and are two different things.
It should be a great match. I'm choosing Trent Beretta. I don't really understand Orange Cassidy.
No one does.
So yeah, I'm just gonna do Trent Beretta.
I want Trent Beretta to go to TNA and hang out with Kazarian. Maybe give Kazarian a little bit of love.
Just call them the Island of Irrelevancy.
I love Trent. I think Trent's so good.
No, but you said Kaz. Like, what is Kaz doing right now that you're like clamoring for that?
Oh, just say he's a good worker. They would work well together, and I think Trent brings personality that Kaz
cool.
lacks. That's all.
That's great. They work well together. No one gives a shit about them working well together.
I think if they were on TNA doing real good work, people would get into it. I got no problem with that. Kaz went through last year with all his fucking
true.
Yeah. So I mean, again, I think because someone like Trent could elevate the personality that Kaz lacks at times. But again, just Trent not being in this situation would help. I think Orange Cassidy's gonna win because he always fucking wins. So I'm gonna go Orange Cassidy.
I like how the majority of this discussion of like, how can other people do better outside of this company? No one was like, this is going to be a back and forth match. I feel like we've seen this match now, unfortunately, like 3 times, even though we should have seen it the first time when we saw, parking lot brawl between Chucky T and Beretta and everything. But yeah, this is going to be Pockets gets the win, and Trent Beretta just is lost in the abyss of mid-card heels that is just becoming like the fucking asteroid belt of AEW wrestling, of just mid-card heels that have nowhere to go.
Yeah, and I don't know how Don Callis ties into all this. I don't know how Dickhead Callis is involved. I don't know.
He's flaccid in the situation. That's what it is. He's flaccid in the situation.
Right. Send Jay Lethal. I think that, again, that's another Dynamite match, though. That would be like a Dynamite match. We'd be good with it. Doesn't need to be on the
right.
Next one.
Well, here's a Rampage one. Chris Jericho, the Learning Tree, with Big Bill, with Large William taking on Hook and Shibata for the FTW Championship in a triple threat. Can I pick no one wins? Is that an option? Can I pick no one wins?
Well, first and foremost, how do you feel about your boy Keith getting just doing the job hard?
I mean, I don't get caught with the shrapnel. I'd rather get out of Dodge. You dodged a bullet here. You got out. Take the L and be happy that you didn't get caught with the stank on you. 100%.
Buried. Man, I don't even want to make a prediction on this match because I'm so like anti this match. Like, I almost guarantee you I will be not on screen when this match takes place.
Jericho wins, and we're setting up a tag match between Big Bill and Jericho versus Hook and Shibata. And I hate every second of it.
I think this is just a way to get Chris Jericho. I can't even talk. Chris Jericho on the card. This is pointless. I'm not supportive tonight. I'm not supportive.
That's the thing. This
AEW match.
This asks you to be supportive of it. That's really the big question of it's not. That's the thing that we have as wrestling fans that fucked up in our heads of we're supposed to enjoy and be gracious that they give us this instead of looking at it of like, nah, this is some bullshit. Like,
right.
You're expecting me to pay $50 for this? That this is some dynamite. This is dynamite in a collision. And you want me to pay $50 for this? No, that's the thing is it's not feeling guilty about being a wrestling fan. It's just like, no, step your fucking game up if you expect me to pay.
Yeah, if they were smart, this match would not be on this pay-per-view at all. It's not they had a number one contenders match for a title they don't recognize. That bothers me right out of the gate. But Jericho sucks. I have multiple clips of me bitching about Jericho. I have literally beat Jericho to death. I don't know how much more I can say about the fucking guy. It is literally watching a live weekly midlife crisis unfold in front of me. It is fucking appalling. This match shouldn't be a thing. If this was Shibata versus Hook one-on-one, take my money. I'll pay to watch that. I like Shibata. I like his phone gimmick of like, I speak English. Like, I think it's great.
Stephen Hawking, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I would like to challenge you for the FTW championship.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying you like?
Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's funny, right? Because again, it works. Like the last couple weeks where with Renee Paquette, I like it. But
I do find it funny. It did. Yeah. That is a little bit.
I just think this whole match and a lot of this card is really an example of they've eroded their internal fan base. We're starting to get down to the nitty gritty of you either about that action or you're not. Because let's be honest, there's not like if you were to hold this card to other Double or Nothings, where would you say this card stands? I would say it's probably towards the back end. It's riding a short bus here.
Thank you for the super chat, Desmond. I appreciate it. As I say every week, Y2J looks like my perverted 6-year-old uncle.
Okay.
I can't comment
Keep
on
your
that.
hands about 10 and 12.
If the leopard print G-string fits, there we go. How you doing?
Do this in my mind.
Yeah, we don't have
to.
And
that's the thing is, and that's even part of how this feels like this is becoming like just. This is the Scientology of pro wrestling. Respectfully, of just there's some people that are about this with this of where we've got Fozzy and Swerve with garments as one tour and everything. Like we're now getting like AEW music tours when we're still trying to pass off. We're gonna be in a 10,000 seat arena but sell 2,000 seats and everything like that. Like it's just the echo chamber, the silos siphoning down. I feel here.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. But I mean, we could beat this to death for 2 hours. But what's the next match? Did you guys?
They do it for like 10. They do it for like 10 hours a week. So
did anybody predict it? Did anybody predict something here?
I said
Jericho.
Yeah, I guess I go Jericho. I said it to where we just set up a tag match here because I feel like that's where we're going to go with this. And this is the feud that will never end because who else is left to feud with Jericho? Honestly, unless he's going to start going into Ring of Honor.
You just have to wait. When somebody gets popular and starts heating up, that will be Jericho's next feud.
Yes, but are we past the point of people getting popular in AEW?
Maybe he gets a title shot at Swerve next.
Oh, don't you fucking say that out loud. Don't you put that genie right back in that bottle. So you don't speak that out loud in public.
He already had one with them.
No.
We
put them genies all back in them bottles. No.
I want
oh no.
I really want Jericho Hogan to become a thing. Like hashtag Jericho Hogan. Everybody listening right now, go out.
Yeah, and we can watch that on the fucking 700 Club and everything.
All right, next match.
All right, so the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Well, no, just the Bang Bang Gang. They cut out the scissors.
They lost the scissors.
Unintended. Yeah. Taking on Death Triangle, reformed, recalibrated, reinitiated here for the AEW Trios World Championships.
Well, first and foremost,
you said that like you paused like I said something wrong.
not at all. It was literally in my head. Like
Fair enough.
When you were talking about they dropped the scissors and that, and I was thinking, running with scissors is dangerous, but it's not as bad as scissoring with the runs. But nonetheless, again, another match that could be on Collision or Dynamite or Rampage. I love Jay White, but literally, did you guys catch it during last night's broadcast? A fan yelled out, "Who wrote this shit?" Well, Jay White was talking. Perfect. Summed up my whole night.
Hey, them packed out crowds to where you can hear someone say something clear as shit, crystal clear.
It's like watching the TNA
on
show.
The television broadcast.
It's like watching the TNA show because their crowds are so small where you can actually hear somebody yell out stuff like that. I've always said it. The Jay White run in TNA way better than what he's doing in AEW, but he swears he's having fun. So yeah. This is another match I don't care about.
I would argue
just give it to the
having a better run than Jay White is in WWE.
Say that again. I missed that.
I said I would argue that right now in pro wrestling, Tama Tonga is having a better run than Jay White.
Immediately when he was aligned with the bloodline, like it just, absolutely.
Positioning matters. Make this one quick and short and sweet. I'm going Bang Bang. He retains.
Fair enough. Death Triangle to be difficult because
what else?
I guess Chaos Theory reigns supreme in AEW here. Is this where when you thought that AEW had signed Jay White and everything, you had heard that, and that was allegedly the coup of the century at that time because they had gotten him away from WWE and everything.
Yeah.
That this is where we would be at.
No.
Where you have Swerve Strickland as your champion, and you can have Swerve versus Jay White. Instead, you have Swerve versus Christian. And instead, Jay White's in who gives a fuck match. This is where we're at.
Yeah, it's been bad. Like Anthony said, nobody cares. I mean, Death Triangle might win, but I want Pac to do solo stuff. Anthony's right.
I think it's just a known fact that what is happening with Jay White is not good. You can't even compare it to anything. Try to think about it in any light. It's terrible. It's complete trash. Like put it out there with the workers who come and collect the trash each and every week and take it to the trash site because that's what it is.
Have you ever watched a wrestling promotion though more like this of like you're kind of out there like I'm gonna get you out. I'm gonna get you out. One day I'm gonna get you out with some of this shit. I'm like. I think we're getting to the apocalypse here to where we're gonna see a lot of people that just give up their contracts here or just walk away. Contracts aren't renewed, etc.
Oh, they're getting paid huge money to work very little, man.
Bro, Ricky Starks, Aleister Black. There's already two at the gate here.
We got stars that will work their contracts out, but the Sasha Banks of the world, some of these guys, I mean, they're making huge money to never work.
Oh yeah. I'm a fan of the Yankees. I understand how paying bullshit contracts works. So 100%, I think that we're going to start seeing a lot of these people that know their worth and know that they're just getting underutilized. They're putting, out on a chamber and they're getting ghosted and everything like that they move along.
Speaking of moving on, my friend.
Right.
Next match. We can go home sometime.
Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné.
The only match I care about on the card. Finally, we get to a match that I care about. I guess I have to say easily Mercedes Moné because I feel like that's where it's leading up to. I think it's going to be a great match. The only thing that's got me to tune into Dynamite each and every week, not saying it is the greatest feud of all time, just saying it is a feud that actually has continued each and every week to get me to tune in. So yeah, I got Mercedes Moné. Really feel bad for Willow Nightingale here.
I'm with you. A poor Willow. We talked about this earlier. She deserves better. She's earned it. She's outshone the big signing. Like if you were to get a stranger who knew nothing about wrestling and said, which one of these ladies is making more money than the other one, I feel like the majority of people would vote Willow because of how she do.
Right.
Mercedes all the way.
At this point, we're just waiting until her contract runs up and then she can go.
Everything. They're just going to contract out and leave.
Just fuck it. At this point, well, I think we're going to see a purge at some point here. This is not a sustainable fucking budget here. But anyways, I'll just, for the sake of being difficult and not trying to run on too long, I will take Willow Nightingale here to actually get the win here. Because I'm sick of Mercedes. I didn't like her to begin with, so I can't cheer for her. I can't pull for it. Just fuck it. Just burn in hell, Mercedes. Just moving on.
Right. Camille in the mix. People have been talking about Camille coming around. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, you're gonna go Willow. That'll be interesting. I'll be shocked. She loses her first match ever in the company.
Just fuck it. Just tax write-off, Tony. Tax write-off.
She motivated. There you go. 2 more matches, I think, sir.
So we have Swerve Strickland versus Christian Cage for the AEW World Championship. And I say that here because this is the third tier of the triple main events, and it's going to be interesting to see where these fall throughout the card.
I have a feeling that this might go first.
If you're not first, you're last.
I can speak on that a little bit. I have heard that a lot of people want Mercedes and Willow to actually be the main event. So I don't know if that's going to happen. But I did say Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné was the only match I cared about. But I do kind of want to see Swerve and Christian. I don't really like the story, but I do think these two are going to go out and have a phenomenal match. So I guess I'm picking Swerve to retain. I don't think he's going to lose to Christian.
Yeah, Swerve's not losing the belt. I'd be shocked. I feel like the main events are pretty predictable here. Swerve all the way.
Swerve retains, and it'll probably happen at like middle of the show. Because fuck you, we just keep burying Swerve. No, you don't think that we're gonna pay all of this money for Mercedes and she's gonna either kick off the show or end the show, and you're gonna end with Anarchy in the arena?
No, but they advertised the triple main event, so to me, those are going to be the last 3 matches of the show.
I don't think that's going to be the case.
I
don't think they're going to go those 3 matches in a row. I don't think so.
It's a triple main event. Where does the main event go? It's a triple main event.
I understand that.
Like
I understand what you are saying. I understand, though, going by their also logic, that they will not run that the same way. Of that, they're going to run those 3 matches. You're going to run your 3 biggest matches right in a row.
Yeah, it's a triple main event.
That's how they're advertising it.
I don't understand. They advertise it.
Yeah, right. How many times have they advertised some shit that not delivered?
Yeah, but they're not going to call it a triple main event and then put them on second or fourth or first. Like,
bro, you're really going to sit there and think that they're not going to do that?
Give me an example of another time they went that stupid. Like, come on.
Chris Jericho. That's stupid.
Main event. That's the last 3 matches of the night.
I fucking really doubt that. You're gonna follow up. You're gonna blow your audience out if you do those 3 matches all right in a row.
Why?
What do you mean? Why? Your 3 biggest matches all right in a row? WWE doesn't even fucking do that.
I mean, they've done it with the double main events, and I've been to a TNA show where they advertised the triple main event. Now, only 2 of the main events.
And Anarchy Arena is going to be in the middle of a fucking triple main event.
It should be the last match. Or this.
Okay, so you lead to what? You lead to Mercedes. You have Mercedes versus Willow. That leads to Swerve versus
No,
Christian. That leads to an Anarchy in the Arena.
I think they'll do it the other way around. I think Swerve will go first.
Either way, it's not good.
No, I'm not telling you it's good. I think a triple main event is a bullshit approach. I think it's a chicken shit approach.
So you think that my idea of that they split it up is worse?
No, what I'm saying is they're advertising a triple main event. So I'm saying whatever you think is bad or good doesn't matter. They are giving us three. Those are your three final matches. We don't know what order, but that's
I don't. I'm saying I don't believe that they're using the term main event as in it's the last three matches. I think it's that WrestleMania type vibe of to where you're going to have every match as a fucking main event. You're going to have something that's a main show. That's a main event.
When has that ever happened?
I'm trying.
When does that ever happen?
Here, Nick, but I'm not seeing it.
It's a triple main. Like, so people wanted Willow and Sasha to be the main event. Tony knows he can't put them on last. Because not and no offense to the women, you're gonna bury the women if that's the last match. People are gonna be fucking leaving the building if that is the last match of the night. They'll get Anarchy out of the way and then they'll be gone. So to placate to the internet audience, because that's what Tony does, he called it a triple main event so nobody's feelings get hurt. But the Anarchy in the arena shouldn't be a main event. The world champion should be your main event. But Swerve never gets treated like one. But those are your last three matches on Sunday, my guy.
So you're handing Jesus that you think that they go straight those three matches 3 in a row.
They announced it, Nick. It is a triple main
event. You can call it a main event. That doesn't mean that they're gonna fucking treat it as the main event.
The last three matches, it's been spoken of. Like that is the main event. I don't know why we're arguing this. It's not even an arguing point. I don't agree with it, but that's what they're announcing. That's what they're promoting. You can't go triple main event and then have Sasha and Willow go out second. Like, what? What do you mean? That's what they're doing.
I don't even know how to respond at this point.
I don't know what to tell you. Like, but yeah, that's your last three matches.
I'm not going to have a coronary. Right. So then predictions on, well, are we all in agreement that Swerve wins versus Christian?
Yes.
So then we come down to last match is the Elite versus Team AEW, Team, Hank Scorpio with the fucking flamethrower and everything.
He had a flamethrower.
Bro, what in the name of fucking GTA was that shit? Like, we barely even talked about the fucking, bloodbath and everything. But man's out here just getting dropped off in the pinkest of all feathery hoodies and everything with a fucking flamethrower. Like, is that not top of the list of wrestling weapons that have been involved that good and how well they ain't gonna fucking use? Like, are we gonna watch a murder live on TV right now?
Yeah. The dumbest part of the whole angle was Tony Khan's supposed to be running the show and he's driving around the block with Darby. Like, where were you? Like,
Uber Tony Khan.
Like, why were you not at the show if you don't even have a neck brace anymore? Why are you here?
But is this not like the payoff, the build off, the blow off to this whole feud? Like, where do we go past here?
They'll figure something out. I don't know.
No, don't say that because they've been trying to figure shit out. It's all been bad.
Tony,
they're going to keep it going. Hangman's going to come back, and they're going to keep this going. But Anthony, you first.
It's probably going to be the Elite. I don't really like them, except Okada. But I really want it to be Team AEW. I don't think the Elite loses here, so it's the Elite.
Sir?
I think the Elite have to win. They're going to continue the war against Tony and AEW. If they lose on Sunday, it's done. It's dead. I think Hangman comes back to help the Elite. He comes back and everyone's like, oh shit, they suspended him. He hates them. Gotcha. He helps them win, and they show back up on Wednesday, and the Tony Khan versus the Elite saga continues.
So you think we get, chapter 2, return of the TK here?
Yeah, so he has to come back and run his show sometime, right?
Yeah. I just worry that they've already burned through enough chapters here of this should have been one of those stories that should have played out a lot longer, and they're burning through chapters here. And I think we do have Hangman Page show up, but I think he shows up and he helps Team AEW pick up the win over Team Elite. I understand it's the wrong decision to have your big heel faction lose right out the gate. But if there's a company that's going to do wrong decisions, so I think, and it's a way you reintroduce Hangman Adam Page, you probably set up towards him versus Okada at like Wembley or something. Yeah, I feel like this is almost like a lose-lose situation a little bit here.
It is because they rushed it. It is because this happened and got accelerated because of Punk doing an interview with Ariel Helwani. And that's the fact. They try and justify the security footage by the storyline.
It's more responsive than progressive, and that's the problem.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's dead in the water. If they lose on, then what do? Well, you're the hapless group that can't do anything. They need to win this, especially against a makeshift thrown together team. I don't know.
Yeah, but so then what's the end? Kenny?
I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to pinpoint the end of a lot of AEW storylines when none of them make sense to begin with. And so it's not a WWE situation where a lot of WWE storylines feel like they have a storybook. They have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And a lot of the times with AEW, things just go in a circle. So this is probably going to go into a circle for a couple of more months. That's kind of how I feel. One of the only storylines I feel like that have some type of a beginning, middle, and end is the Mercedes Moné and Willow. They started with New Japan, her getting injured. They both in AEW magically. Here's the middle part of the storyline, and then we'll eventually get to some type of end. But with this, it's just everywhere. So can't really predict an ending to something that doesn't really have a beginning, to be honest.
No. But I feel like it's been such a short run, like it was all for naught if it doesn't continue into some type of, like, you got to continue. Right. You know, they tried to kill Tony. So you got to keep going.
You're trying to kill him.
Right?
No Shad Khan. We're going to get Tony and Shad Khan versus Young Bucks here in a tag match here. I feel it's so weird because AEW does less pay-per-views, but feels like they can never build towards a resolution at the pay-per-views. Meanwhile, WWE does more pay-per-views, and you feel like everything kind of builds towards a resolution at those pay-per-views.
Yeah, it's what I call pop-up book writing. Like, they don't really tell, like, we're used to, like, you read a novel and it, you know, you follow the story, you follow the plot. But a pop-up book, like, you open the first page and something happened, and then you open the second page and they skip the plot because it's a pop-up book. So you open up and now something else happened until eventually you just kind of like, we're done. Like, I've always called it pop-up book writing. And that's, again, on them to do better. But I think Tony's having so much fun being involved. And he was just, you know, at full.
Tell me he's not getting involved in Anarchy in the arena.
He might.
Odds on right now, 1,001 odds. Yes or no if he gets involved?
I'm going to say yes.
Oh, he definitely gets involved some type of way.
He trips somebody up. Does he heel turn? Do we get a little heel turn?
He drives a fucking car right through a door. Like that's
him and Sue. Double team.
Yeah, I'm putting my money down on Tony getting involved, which then might might hurt my argument. Maybe Tony does win and this dies. Again, flip a coin.
It's all bad. It's all bad.
It's all bad.
It's all
Right.
bad.
But watch it with us on Sunday, folks. We will be here.
And it's, to me, it's just one of those, it's so infuriating of, there's a lot of us that want to see AEW do well and everything like that, but you just get added to the list of, like, you just hate a raid. It's the Scientology of wrestling at times, of a little bit of like, we want it to do well. Just make it make fucking sense. And you don't want it to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
MCMG debuts to help TK.
Oh. So then you just kill off FTR, which, side note, is Darby the one that you expected out of Team AEW to show up with a firearm? Because I will say that wasn't my choice.
If you watched my reaction last night, I was like, FTR's here, FTR's here. Wait, no! No!
I'm finna do it.
I was like, fucking Darby's got a gun. Run. I think that would kill MCMG real quick if you threw him in the middle of this tornado.
At this point, they just don't need to be in AEW at all, but I don't make the decision. So,
but is that not a crazy theory that we've gone from AEW's, the beacon of independent wrestling to leave here and never come back? It's become the elephant graveyard.
right. It has. It definitely has.
I think it's going to continue to be like this. If you are in the beginning of your career or the end of your career, you're going to end up in AEW. Like, it's a good place to get noticed. Like, you go to AEW and you have a Ricky Starks type run and people bitch that you're not utilized, and then WWE sign you up and you're good to go. And then when they're done with you, they send you back.
Yeah, but how many people get that type of run even at this point in AEW? Like, think about it. Queen Amanana, if she wasn't Queen Amanana outside on the independent scene, I don't think she'd be even where she was. Exactly. I don't think she'd be as featured as she was. I think you have places like Ring of Honor that are wastelands within AEW's booking and roster field. I think it's much more of a landmine of you're almost hoping that you were somebody that had enough of a build-up, like a Ricky Starks, a Malachi Black, a Konosuke Takeshita, that when your contract signs up or is up, you can jump, versus a lot of these guys that are just like, I'm just here and not getting used, and I can't do other bookings, so I'm just kind of here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the AEW circle at this point. Yeah.
But gentlemen, I think with all of that being said, I think we've done our due diligence this evening. We went through Howdy, we went through King and the Queen, King of Queens, Queen and King and Queen of the Ring. See, definitely too long. And AEW Double or Nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us as always. We are back at it tomorrow for SmackDown. We might be peeking in at some other stuff. And then, of course, 11:30 a.m. Saturday, we will be here for Brunch with the Boys. Sunday night, we will be here at 6:30 p.m. We are the pre-show to the pre-show. We watch more live wrestling than anybody else out there. We got so much coming your way. We got so much on the docket. Follow us. Click all the links. Be a part of the show. Be a part of the fun. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
I think I'm good. I don't have anything else.
Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, but that full live footage.
Come back tomorrow. See you on the flip side. Good night.